And what a show it was. I got to call it, I got to be honest. It was a great show. There's a lot of emotion behind it. There was some, I was on the edge of my seat. I was excited. Man. And then, yeah, the Oscars were last night, too. I was talking about Elimination Chamber. There was a big move that happened from John Cena. Turned into a bad guy, guys. After all these years, turns into a bad guy. Rocha loves it. He's so excited for all of this. I actually do love it. He doesn't. We'll disagree. We'll have a conversation like gentlemen, or maybe not. But we'll talk about it, and then we'll discuss why the Oscars needs to no longer exist. That and other things. There's some leaks that are happening with the Avengers. I don't know if we're going to really dive into that, but the other thing we'll definitely dive into is it looks like the Snow White movie tracking real bad, and this is one of those things where controversy might have actually sunk this thing before it even started. But we'll see. Maybe it has a comeback. Who knows? I don't. So that's the show today with me and the one and only outlaw, John Rocha. Let's get into it, everybody. It's Kristian Harloff Show. Happy Monday. Here we go. Welcome back to the show, everybody. Happy Monday. I hope you had a great weekend. Joining me on the show every Monday, the outlaw John Rocha. What's up, man? How are you?
Happy Monday. What's going on, man?
Nothing. We text back and forth over the weekend.
Yes.
About what's going on. There's a lot of shit that went down this weekend, obviously.
Very busy weekend.
It was indeed. Yeah. So we're gonna start right off the bat. We're gonna start with this one. And they even cover it on the damn comic book movie. That's how big the story was. You can't, it's a big story.
It's a big story. Can't deny that. I agree.
All right.
Big story.
And that's going to be one of my points here when we discuss this. But John Cena shocks the world at the WWE Elimination Chamber by turning heel and selling his soul to The Rock. Peacemaker star John Cena shocked the world last night at the Elimination Chamber when he finally turned heel by attacking Cody Rhodes and forming an alliance with The Rock. Similar to comic books, pro wrestling features heroes and villains. They're referred to as baby faces and heels by fans. And for upwards of 2 decades, WWE viewers have wondered what it would look like if John Cena was to turn heel. The chances of it ever happening seem slim, especially as the Peacemaker star has granted more Make-A-Wish requests than anyone in history. 2025, Cena is embarking on a retirement tour and will hang up his wrestling boots and jorts for good at the end of the year. Last night, it finally happened, and Cena broke bad. During the Elimination Chamber, it came down to, we'll get into the whole thing, what happened, basically. But they basically recap how it happened. Cody told The Rock to go F himself, and then Cena pulls a Hollywood Hogan and kicks him in the ball bag. And then for some stupid reason, Travis Scott was there. I think we're both going to agree on that.
Agreed. Yeah.
Dumbest thing ever. And Cody should get a receipt and punch him right in the nose.
100%.
Yeah, 100%. We'll discuss all that. So anyway, it was one of the most tweeted about things. Everybody was talking about it. It was a big, huge moment that happened. I was like, so I have found a new way to watch these PLEs now, John.
Okay.
First of all, I'm not going to check my phone. I'm not going to check anything on that Saturday, right?
Very smart.
Because they're East Coast. They drop at like 7, 8 o'clock, right? So I have one person in my house that's actually going to watch these with me, and it's my 7-year-old.
That's right.
So when I said to her, and I bribed her by going to sleep, I said, listen, Elimination Chamber. She's like, is that the one with the cages and they put them in or should put them in the things? And yeah, she's like, I love that one. And I go, I know. I go, we'll watch it tomorrow, but you got to go to sleep early. She's like, all right. So she went to bed early. She wakes up at like 6:15 in the morning to watch it. And we just watched that. We just watched it. And she wanted to she was kind of checked out once the girls were over, but but whatever. She's sitting there drawing, eating breakfast while we're watching it. And I watched the entire, and I thought it was a great event all the way through.
Yeah, very good premium live event. Yes, agreed.
I thought it really was a great, I like the storytelling aspect of it, and as the main event is happening, I'm like, okay, they're gonna finally give it to Punk finally, and then as they're going through this, and I see Cena choke him out, and to get it in the way that they did it with Seth stomping on his head. I was like, okay, fine, I get it. But now I'm like, babyface first, babyface. I go, they're gonna have to turn Cody heel now. They're gonna have to do that because otherwise there's no investment in it. No one will care. Mm-hmm. So they get to this segment, and when he tells him to go fuck himself, I'm like, okay. And I had to cover my 7-year-old's ears at that point, but it is what it is. And so that happens, and then when Cena kicks him in the nuts, I was on a very different wavelength. I said the first thing I said, very smart. I thought it was a very smart business move. I thought it was a way to make anybody interested in this thing. And people are talking about this that don't talk about wrestling in the same way that they did like last year. And we were going back and forth. The two big main events right now are this and Jey Uso versus Gunther. Who cares about that match? I mean, nobody's going to, outside of the wrestling audience, no one's going to care about that. People are going to care about this.
Right.
You hate it. Why?
Listen. There's two ways to look at this. The business aspect of it all, and by the way, I've not commented on the business aspect of it all on any of my tweets. This is smart business for WrestleMania. This is what you want to do. You want to get the casuals in. This has always been the way of WrestleMania. The Rock twice now has inserted himself late in the creative storyline phase of WrestleMania. He almost messed it up last year until they pivoted, and no, that was not planned. He fully admitted that they pivoted. Don't watch that stupid WrestleMania documentary that lies like crazy about what happened. They pivoted to make The Rock be a heel and fit all this stuff in there and what have you. Now, this time around, maybe they planned this a few weeks ahead. People are like, they've been planning this for 10 years. Stop it. They just were like, okay, let's insert The Rock. Let's bring Cena in. I knew he was going to turn heel because I knew Cody was never going to turn heel. I knew that. As soon as he did that thing last week about wanting your soul, I'm like, no way Cody's going to turn. It doesn't make sense. They haven't built it up that well. It doesn't make sense for him to turn. So once he choked choked Punk out after Seth had dropped the bomb on Punk's head, that's when I knew it was coming because he never does that. Cena never takes the cheap way out. Remember when Punk could have lost to him and Cena refused to do it years ago because it was some assistance or some aid was being administered in help of Cena. Cena wouldn't do it. It's not his way. So the second he yanked Punk back into the thing and put him in the STF, and then he even said, I'm sorry, as he was choking him out, right? So you see, I saw it coming. So when it happened to me, I wasn't shocked. As someone who's watched wrestling for decades, I was not shocked. And I was like, okay, well, I guess the kick in the balls, all right, finals. To me, it wasn't that big of a deal. I thought it was terrible creative storyline.
Oh, wow. I couldn't disagree more.
Ridiculous because he's a part-timer. He hasn't won a match in years. Every time he's wrestled since he came back, he looks old. He looks terrible. He looks out of it. He doesn't look threatening or intimidating or anything. Yeah. And he's living off the fumes of the stuff he did in the past. So
but you're forgetting the main purpose.
Rodgers joining the Jets. It was like, sure, why not?
That's not the same, dude. No, it's not. The thing is with WrestleMania, it's obviously, as they call it, the showcase for the immortals. It's when people come in there and check it out who are casual and whatnot. And Cody went over, and your biggest star went over so big last year. It's kind of been a little lackluster with him for the year, but they've stayed the course and they kept the title on him, and they're going to put him over again inside of this thing. And Cena, whether or not Cena wins or not, they're still putting him over by putting him in this spotlight, right? And by putting The Rock and Cena, when Cena's got Peacemaker coming out and all these different things, and you're showcasing him. It's true. I mean,
it frustrates me, man.
But it's the business side of it also.
I know.
Where you want to get these big stars, you have to elevate your other talent within that. And the story it's intriguing. It's like, well, why? And that's the other thing that it's hard for me to judge and say like right away, oh, well, he's just a part-timer. He's going to do this. I don't know what his story is yet. And I know, I don't know the character's reasoning for it yet.
Here's the story. He can't do it anymore. He's almost 50. Rock is 50. There's a couple of 50-year-olds trying to do this thing again. And this isn't Rock Hogan. That's a different situation. Like that was an amazing and it wasn't even going to be a main event. So it was a once in a generation type of thing where you see the old lion and the new lion coming in. It was amazing. I bet Triple H is going to be the third person. And it's going to be triple. It's going to be the corporate angle.
Oh, you're saying within
them.
Sure,
it's going to be 3.
Right, but Stone Cold's going to come back.
Stone Cold's going to save Cody,
yeah.
and so is Roman. Roman is absolutely going to come in and save Cody.
That sounds so fun.
Yeah, right. So it's fun. Again, I'm not arguing the business decision, right?
Yeah.
I see what you're saying. My point is, creative storyline wise, it's so lame to do it now because it's been 20 years, and I don't know. Look, it got all these attention, it got all these views, so clearly people care. To me, Cena has been irrelevant for 5 years. I don't care when he wrestles. I don't care when he comes back. I just don't care. He doesn't have the same kind of connection.
You're not intrigued now, though, to see him.
No, really.
But I think you're in the minority
anymore. So I think you're in the matches.
But I think you're in the minority, though.
Of course not. Oh, I know I'm in the minority.
And so that's why I think that if I'm making that decision, okay, look, there's some people who aren't going to think that he can do it. But the question is, are people going to be intrigued with him as a heel, and could they
100%?
They were going for the Hollywood Hogan moment, and it's like, but they were going for it, whether or not you thought it achieved it or not, they were going for it, and it was the most talked about thing. And if it was just Cena versus Cody right now, pure baby faces, sure, you can get Cena star power with The Rock, and then it's like, who cares? But if there's a reason why he's doing this, and there was an interview that he gave with Chris Van Vliet, it was a couple of years ago, and Chris asked him about how if there was ever a time when he almost went heel, and they were really close on doing it. 2012, and he was like, there was like up until the day or something they were going to do it. And he also talked about his plans on what he would do if he did, and he mentioned that part-time stuff, and he mentioned like how he wouldn't have that hard work ethic, and he would say it. I think he's going to put a lot into it, and to see him and The Rock together teaming up leading to WrestleMania, I think it'd be a lot of fun, because I think it also leads to him in his last year doing something that I'm not disagreeing with you that I've never been a big Cena fan in the ring. He's got the same move set, the silly elbow, the things or a shoulder thing. Fine. But I'm not watching. I'm more intrigued to watch now because it's his last year, and I want to see, and I would much rather him do something different in his last year. And then what's the journey? He's not going to end as a heel. He's going to end.
Of course, he's going to turn. So, and that's another
him versus The Rock, maybe too. And do you think that would be great as his last match? Him versus The Rock.
I don't want to see that.
Oh, I would love to see that. How much fun? What happened to you? Did someone take?
I want to see old dudes trying to carry. Come on, you just see Rick. Why just bring Ric Flair back? Why not?
This is not Ric Flair and Roddy Piper winning their tag team titles. This is not that. These guys are both in shape. They both can tell stories. They're both out there in Hollywood making movies. I think it's a brilliant move. I think it's one of the best creative moves that WWE has made in quite a long time.
Again, I'm not going to argue business side of it and what it's getting in the attention. I think that's all. I agree with everybody who says smart business decision. 100%. ESPN on First Take was talking about it today with I think Sterling Sharp saying, "Wait, is it Sterling? Oh, I always forget which Sharp it is, but like he's stuttering around how he wants to take on Cena and all of that." So attention wise, this is genius. This is brilliant. But for us diehards, I think it does. I don't know, just wrangle my feathers a little bit, because it's like now these great people have to. I mean, Seth Rollins versus Cody for his soul, that would have been amazing. And you have Rock. Whose side is right? Is Rock on trying to get Cody? That's an awesome storyline. But
it's not a mainstream. And the problem is they threw away
carry him for like 30 minutes, man.
Maybe, but they also threw away their second main event by having Jey Uso win. Like having Jey Uso win for mainstream business.
Yeah, but I don't think he's going to be the main event. I think it's going to be Rhea and Bianca. Rhea and Bianca.
Yes. Okay.
That's going to be your main event.
Okay. And then so that will be one of the matches on night one.
Saturday night main event, and then Sunday will be.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. I still think that they could have given Punk that spot.
Oh, 100%.
They could have given Punk that spot.
Oh,
and I think that if you had Punk going up against Gunther and build that storyline up to lead to that, and then have Bianca versus Rhea, and then Cena versus Cody, you got a great main event. That title is, first of all, they fought a million different times over.
Jey,
Gunther and Jey, they've already fought a bunch of times over.
I agree. That was a bad criticism. I don't disagree.
Jay's got a great entrance.
Yeah.
That's it. He's got a great entrance, and he kicks a lot.
You know what? You talk about me being in the minority. You are in the minority about Jey. People love Jey. Jey is main.
I didn't see a lot of great social support when he won. I saw. You know what it is? I think that for him, I think that if I was a WWE creative for live events,
and you have been by the way, at WWE.
But I'm saying if I was there now, and if I was there and I was in the crowd every time it came out, I was like, this guy's over like a mother. Like he is a live event. He's over live events because the whole crowd's going crazy. They want to see him win. I don't think he's as over for the national audience. And one of the reasons why is, do you cross over? Like if you mentioned Cody Rhodes, and it's because of the angles he's been in, for sure. CM Punk, Cody Rhodes, Rhea Ripley, like those names are starting to cross over more into the mainstream. Jey Uso, outside the wrestling fan, is not going to know who Jey Uso is, for sure. Yeah, he's not, we have to agree, he is not good on the microphone.
Jay's not the best on the microphone. No, I don't.
And you want to make him a star? You want to make him a champion? He's terrible on the microphone.
I wouldn't say terrible. He's just not as good as he needs to be for the status that he's at. I don't disagree with you there. But look, Sasha was never that great on the microphone, and she was an awesome wrestler. So
she never crossed over, though. She never crossed to that next next thing. She never got. They never felt that she was to that place where they wanted. She didn't get the Rhea Ripley treatment. She didn't get the Becky Lynch treatment.
No,
she didn't get that stuff because there's only so much you can go past that. Being really good in the ring thing.
Yeah, well, I mean, they kind of screwed her over creative because they kept having her drop the title right after she won it. So I think there were creative decisions that screwed her over. And in the end, she has a healthy, very healthy opinion of herself, which I think was the reasons why she would storm home during after matches or during pay-per-views. Like, so those are those situations that
had a great interview with Katie Sackhoff. Did you watch it?
Say that again.
She had a great interview with Katie Sackhoff last week. It's really good.
Oh, I haven't watched it. I'll watch that.
It's really good. Anyway, so I think that because the card right now,
but look, what do you think the card
needed this?
Do you think this is going to be good? Do you think these are going to be good promos from Cena? He hasn't done a good promo in years.
Well, wait, but look at you. As we talk about Drew McIntyre, right?
Yeah, I love Drew.
Drew McIntyre is very good as a heel. He's very good as a heel.
Yeah,
he's much better as a heel than he is a babyface, and he gets himself into a place where he can cut certain promos and cut things. You're like, okay, yeah, but I believe that. Maybe John Cena is going to find new energy with being a heel and having some fun with this thing, because I do think it'll be a lot of fun, and I think that he can get us excited with it. Him partnering up with The Rock, and they're going to lead to this story. So I'm way more intrigued now to watch the shows because I want to see where this goes.
Yeah, well, and this is what they wanted, right? And so you got to go that. I understand the decision. Me as a purist, I don't like it sometimes. I don't mind when they bring people in. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Last year, if they hadn't pivoted, it would have been horrible. This year, they clearly hit the right button because millions of people are watching it, and I think it's the most watched video on WWE ever, social media wise. Yeah. It's amazing. So clearly they hit the right thing. I just don't like it, right? Like, we don't always need this stuff. Daniel Bryan versus Batista, that didn't have any of that outside shit, and it was an amazing build-up to Daniel Bryan winning the title at WrestleMania.
WrestleMania 1 had some of the best.
Right, 100%. It's been the history of WrestleMania. You're right.
The history of it, and it's like, and so I think that because you want to get people in more than just the hardcores are going to watch it. The hardcores are going to watch it.
Yeah, we're already going to watch it.
You're going to watch it no matter what. The question is, like, John Cena's a bad guy. Yeah, he's a bad guy, and he's partnered up with The Rock, and they're fighting the new champion, and he's pretty brutal. Oh, but before we move on to this, what I will say was a terrible decision.
Yes,
was Travis Scott. Terrible decision.
God,
why was he there?
Because and this is the thing that's frustrating, that with the new takeover of TKO and Endeavor, they're trying to be cool and they're trying to be topical, and so they're The Rock coming out, who again is 50 years old, almost 50 years old, coming out with Travis Scott, who is like kind of a contemporary rap artist everybody knows. By the way, Drake was in the audience, and they didn't show Drake at all or call him out. That tells you how far Drake has fallen. He was even trying to get attention, standing behind Wade Barrett doing moves or whatever, if you watch the broadcast. But yeah, Travis Scott coming out, except it was trying to make The Rock look cool, right? Look topical, look with the kids. And so already that felt to me like, ugh. And so they got to the ring, and then Travis was like yanking Cody's face.
That was my problem.
Cena had to stop him, and then Travis still punched him, which was dumb as shit. Yeah.
So there was two things there, and I want to make it clear because I see people saying why he was there because of the social media aspect. I understand that
exactly.
I get it. Bad Bunny, all that stuff. I get it. I understand.
Yeah, but Bad Bunny committed, man.
Sure, but in the same way that Dennis Rodman back in the day and stuff. I get it. I understand why you bring outside celebrities and you bring people in there to
Sure.
That's not why I'm asking. What I'm asking is why there wasn't someone there who they were going to like actually pay attention to what they were doing.
Yes.
Because you caught the moment too. There's a moment. John Cena. This is why I've always had respect for Cena. I had so much more respect.
100%.
There's a moment where they're getting ready for The Rock to slap him with a belt, and Cena's holding him down, and Travis, so silly, starts pushing Cody all the way back to where his back's going like this, and then Cena catches it, stays in character, but pushes Cody back down, like get back down there. But what he was really doing was, you're gonna crack his back, you idiot.
You fucking moron.
So he pushed his back there, and then the punch that he hit him with was a full-on open hand slap that was like it could have damaged his earlobe. And it's like, I would have been pissed. I would have been pissed if I was Triple H. I'll tell you that. Cody's
taken worse punches than that skinny little kid can throw. And so he was fine. I'm sure he was fine afterwards. But like, it's bad form. And WWE messed up in this situation because they've done a good job. They have a great record.
I think The Rock messed up in that situation.
Well, fine. The Rock, Bad Bunny, Logan Paul. I mean, you've had even KSI. You've had people come in and be a part of this thing, and like homie taking that Braun Breaker spear. That was great, right? That's how you do it. What Travis Scott was doing, I think he was caught up in his smelling his own whatever, and got caught up in the moment and was doing what he was doing, and it was stupid. We know pro wrestling's not real. And if he was gonna, and I don't know if that was even scripted, he was supposed to punch Cody. He might have gone into business.
No. Rock told him to slap the shit out of him, is what he said at the press conference.
Right. But punching him was a whole nother ballgame. So that's something that is just ridiculous. So I hope they get a receipt for Travis Scott.
Yeah, I hope he gets a receipt.
Yeah. Maybe Kendrick Lamar kicking his ass around the place.
Either way. But people are talking about it. Hey,
but I do want to say one thing. Just because people came after me all weekend, and I get it. Sometimes I don't want to go with the rest.
I didn't come after you. I just said you're wrong. Go ahead.
I don't go with the sheep sometimes. I don't go with the herd. I stand alone. I am the outlaw, and I stand on my own opinions, and I have reasons for my own opinions. Okay, I don't go along with the sheep, and you guys get mad at me. But I will reserve the right to change my mind, because if Cena is really good in these promos, if this really does open the door for other things, it doesn't mean y'all were right. It just means they did a better job with it, and they had a whole situation. So I do reserve the right to change my mind, and I want to see if it works. And I also reserve the right to destroy it if it isn't good, and I will. So
I'm very curious.
Yeah.
See how this is going to pan out. You'll be tuning into Raw. You would have been watching anyway, to be fair.
Yes, I do.
But I'm curious to see how you're going to respond to it and how it works out. So
maybe I'll do a live watch along tonight. I don't know. I was supposed to go see Mickey 17, but I mean, do you think that's going to do as much as watching John Cena come back on Raw?
Did you actually put the footage in there?
Footage of Mickey 17?
No, of Raw.
Oh, right.
What Late to the Party's doing.
Oh, yeah. No, but they do that later.
Do it both.
Robert's an editor, so it helps. Go ahead.
Yeah. True. Okay. We're going to get to, that was, I guess, what people say is sports entertainment. And they would say, oh, is it real? Well, we're going to talk about something that was definitely scripted entertainment. That was the Oscars. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But before we do, I'm very excited today because we have a bunch of really great sponsors for you guys. And here's a bunch right now. I love Via. I love Via. They're back, baby. Here it is. Why do I always feel like dancing when Via is part of the show? I love Via. I've been talking about Via with you guys, and I am just in love with Via because you want to feel great, and you got to feel great with the right products. And for me, that's Via. We are very proud to have them sponsoring this episode. I have absolutely fallen in love with them, and if you haven't tried them yet, you really are missing out. Whether you have to unwind, you're focusing, you're boosting your mood, Via is here to enhance your everyday and night. I'm all about that sleep. The sleep ones, the sleep gummies. Oh my goodness. They are trusted by over 500,000 happy customers. Via is changing the game in natural wellness. I love them. You really do just have to unlock the power of nature with Via's organic and vegan hemp extracts. They're perfect for relaxation and rejuvenation. Via is the only lifestyle hemp brand. They use compounds found in hemp along with active plant extracts to create products, each with special effect in mind. Whether you want to get better sleep, that's what I'm saying, ease anxiety, enhance your mood, or just get high, They got something for you. Their products range from 0 milligrams to 100 milligrams of THC, so these guys have you covered whether you're looking to microdose or enjoy more potent effects. They are the industry leader. They have over 500,000 customers served. It's made in the USA. It's farmed and crafted with care in the United States, and it's award-winning services experiencing the top-notch customer service. You got to check them out. If you're 21 and over, check out the link to Via in our description and use that code Kristian to receive 15% off, free shipping on orders over $100. And if you're new to Via, you get a free gift of your choice after your purchase. They're going to ask you where you heard about them. Please support our show and tell them that we sent you. Enhance your everyday with Via. NordVPN. It is a great VPN and the one I've been telling you about. Why? Because if you're watching a sporting event, a TV show, a film which is not available in your region, you can switch over your virtual location to a country that is showing the event. You can protect your private data like bank details, passwords, or online identity. NordVPN can switch your virtual location, allowing you to save money by purchasing flights, hotels, subscriptions from other countries at a cheaper price. NordVPN is the fastest VPN in the world. There's no buffering, there's no lagging while you're streaming, and it stops your ISP bandwidth throttling. One NordVPN account can be used on up to 10 devices. To get the best discount off your NordVPN plan, go to nordvpn.com/khshow. Our link will give you 4 extra months on the 2-year plan. There's no risk with Nord's 30-day money-back guarantee. The link is in the podcast episode description box. So check it out, NordVPN. Let's talk about Stitch Fix. Now, I told you guys about them last week. I'm going to tell you about them again. Why? Because shopping, it's not the easiest. I found a much better way because Stitch Fix online personal styling has made it so much easier for me. I cannot stand shopping. I hate it. Even when I'm figuring out my sizes, stores, they just don't seem to have everything that I want in stock. And the crowds, you know me with people. I get annoyed fast. So who has the time to shop anyway? Stitch Fix, you get a stylist who understands your style. They understand your size. They understand your budget. That's the most important thing. They do all the shopping for you. Shopping and figuring out style, it can be overwhelming. So when it comes to getting dressed, it's hard for me to even figure out where to get started. And that's why I love having Stitch Fix, the stylist. It really knows what works. So I can get pieces to make me look great, and it's a confidence boost. I love it. My wife was like, look at you putting outfits together. And I didn't say anything except, yeah, I did it on my own. She knows, though. She knows everything. Anyway, no stores, no crowds, no stress, just personalized looks that you will love. Stitch Fix makes it all very easy. You can make style easy. You can get started today. You got to go to stitchfix.com/KHS. Pretty easy. stitchfix.com/KHS. Thanks, Stitch Fix. Excited for Stitch Fix. Excited for you to find some NordVPN. And of course, Via. So many people signed up for Via. I'm so excited. I wanted to come back for a full-on year. I want them to be here for a year. So make sure you get all of them. But get Via for sure. All right. You ready for this, John?
What you got?
All right, but before we get into the topic,
what do you got?
Yeah. Right now you're at 33 questions. Pretty damn good. Good start. Good start.
Wow. I thought there'd be more angry questions about the Cena thing. Come on, people.
There might be.
Let me have it.
Might be. Roxy and DJ Woolridge are on tomorrow. Wednesday we got
talk about no stupid answers. Go ahead.
Yeah. We have a lot going on this week, so I'm excited for it. But it's a good start, 33. But let's talk about this because I got into this whole text exchange with this group last night. I used to be an intern at Village Roadshow back like 20 some odd years ago, and we were in this whole text exchange. And one of my friends was talking about he's so far removed from the Oscars, and he hadn't even heard of these movies now, and this and that. And then my other friend who works at a company, I won't say which one, but he was like going back and forth and talking about how great it was for independent film and this and that, and I kept telling him and it was the same thing I've been telling the audience. It's like it has nothing to do with wanting the popular movie to win. I had a conversation with my friend. I've told everybody I've been going to the gym and trying to get myself in shape. And my friend I've known since first grade, my friend Chris, and I said, let me ask you a question. Of the movies that are the Oscars, which one of these have you heard of? Yeah. I said, have you ever heard of Dune 2? He goes, yeah, of course. I said, Wicked? He said, yeah. I said, Anora? He goes, I have no idea what that is. And I said, well, what about The Brutalist? He's like, no clue. Because that's just, it's not a matter of the popularity side. It's because like when you look in again, I use 94 as an example. Pulp Fiction was not a big budget action movie. It was a smaller movie, right? But everybody knew about it because of the press that it got, and the public was made aware of it. There's a lot of different movies these days, and it's harder to get people aware of it. But people, and I also think social media is a big problem because, and I use this example as when we used to go to when we used to watch the Oscars, that was really the night you could check in to see what the celebrities were doing. Right? You're like, oh, you never saw them. You don't know. Now you can go to their Twitter account, you can go to their Facebook account, you can go to their Instagram, you can go to all the things that they have, and you're like, oh, I know Adrian Brody, or like the whole thing with Paul Giamatti when he went in and out afterwards. It's just they're more accessible now. Which at one point you're like, okay, but it makes it like it takes away the mystique, if you will. But nonetheless, we're going to talk about the show itself, and here is the article, and it has the winners. And I will say, he did not disappoint. Conan O'Brien was fantastic. He was really, really good. He started out, he was funny. He knows how to host a show. He should host it every year. This year's Academy Awards, hosted by Conan O'Brien, are now over with, and Anora dominated with 5 wins, including Best Picture, Actress, Director, Original Screenplay, and Editing.
Wow, that's a lot for Anora. That's a lot for them. Yeah,
I think a little too much, and we'll talk about it in a little bit. Other multiple winners include The Brutalist with 3 wins for Actor, Cinematography, and Score, while Amelia Perez won 2 for Supporting Actress and Song. Wicked won 2 for Costume, Production Designer, and Dune Part 2 won 2. That was pretty good. Single award winners included Conclave for Adapted Screenplay, A Real Pain for Supporting Actor, Flow for Animated Series, I'm Still Here for International Feature, No Other Land for Documentary, and The Substance for Makeup. So Best Picture was Anora, Best Director was Sean Baker for Anora, Best Actor was Adrian Brody for The Brutalist, Best Actress was Mikey Madison for Anora. That was the big shocker of the night. Best Supporting Actress was Zoe Saldana. Everybody saw that coming. Best Supporting Actor, Kieran Culkin. Everybody saw it coming, but I think that, myself, you, Dan Merle, people thought that other people should have taken that award. But Best Animated Feature was going to go with either Flow or Wild Robot. I can't speak on, because I want to get upset and go, come on. But from what I hear, Flow is fantastic. So I really can't speak of whether or not I deserve to or not, because I didn't see it. Best International Feature, I'm Still Here. Best Documentary Feature, No Other Land. Best Adapted Screenplay is Conclave. Best Original was Anora. Best Cinematography was The Brutalist. Best Film Editing, Anora. And those in the smaller ones, you can look it up. I don't need to tell you that. He doesn't give a shit. I don't give a shit. They don't know the big ones. They don't care. All right. And they probably watched it anyway. Okay, so the show itself, as we were going back and forth, the production and the way that it was run, much better than years past, no doubt. And that's because Conan O'Brien is he's the best. He's great, and his jokes are great. The stuff he did with the actress from Anora, Amelia Perez. What's her name?
Carla Sofia Gascon. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That was the best when he took that. She was shot there, and took a shot Jimmy Kimmel also. I loved it. And the Adam Sandler thing I thought was great. That
funny. He
made it serious. He talked about the LA, the fires and things, and he just did a phenomenal job of moving it. Yes. My issue, like I said, it was just one of these things where I'm just like, who are they making these awards for these days? Who are they? Or I shouldn't say the awards. Who are they making the show for? Like, who's the show for? It's for people. It's for people inside the industry, and it's for people who are really hardcore. You were just talking about wrestling, hardcore, like movie aficionados, and not just like film aficionados, not just movie aficionados, film aficionados. Because as I was telling you, like the average, like my daughter would come in, my oldest Vivi would come in and just listen to the awards for Wicked. She didn't have any idea what the other movies were. She had no clue. She was only there to see if Wicked won anything, and then she left. Right. The same that my wife had seen some of the stuff because of me. If it wasn't because of me, she wouldn't have seen a lot of this shit. So I think that Demi Moore was robbed, to be honest.
I gotta agree with you there.
Yeah, I think Mikey Madison was really good.
Yes.
I don't think she was better. I don't think Sean Baker was better than 2 of the people who weren't even nominated, John M. Chu and Denis. They directed circles around him. Circles around him. This is the point I wanted to make to you.
Okay.
Is that the problem I have with the Oscars in general, especially after that article that came out last week about some of these voters who don't even watch the movies or think that, well, I don't want to give this to that person because they deserve to win. I saw a lot of people saying that about Demi Moore, saying, oh, well, she's not going to get another shot, so they should have given it to her over the young person. That's not how it works. I agree that Demi Moore should have won, but I think she should have won because I think she had a stronger performance.
Based on merit.
Yes. The question is, are they really, like, isn't it supposed to represent the best in film? And you're going to tell me you think Sean Baker was the best director outside of what John M. Chu did and what Denis Villeneuve did and what the director of The Brutalist did?
Yeah, Brady Corbett. Yeah,
you're going to tell me that he's the best?
Yeah.
Like, that's what he's supposed to be. This supposed to be, if you win, you're the best.
Yeah.
You never get, and the other part of that is, I don't think the people who are voting are qualified to determine who is the best.
Wow. Okay.
They're not, because if you have somebody who's saying, well, I didn't vote for Ray Fiennes because he won for whatever, for Schindler's List. But first of all, he didn't. Second of all, that should not be why you're voting. You should be voting because you think his performance was the best or it wasn't. Not because he doesn't deserve it because he won before.
Yeah.
Those people do not deserve to vote. And it is why I make a heavy push that it should be critics who are the ones who actually determine these things, and because they see everything, not these insignificant people because they're part of the community, they get to vote. It's a broken system.
It is a broken system, and you're right about that, because a lot of people and I've done this having lived in Hollywood for 20 years, and even now talking to people who are part of the business and the industry. Some of these people get the ballots and they hand them off to their assistants to vote. They're not even taking it seriously themselves, because, Oscars are great to win and they're good for people to win because it helps their career, but it's much more for the people on camera. Those are the people that it really helps them in negotiating, whatever. Most of the people below the line are just trying to get to their next job and trying to work. And yes, the Oscar does help, but it doesn't really go like, okay, we should give them everything. There are plenty of people. Diane Warren has never won for Best Song, yet keeps getting nominated because people respect and admire her work. And the same thing on the below the line people. And so a lot of them don't see the Oscars in the same way that like actors do or directors do or people who love Best Pictures do. It's a different approach. So you don't get the same kind of dedication to voting and to putting in these people that you want to win. And I do take your point about these unnamed Oscar voters, but I also think there's a little bit of it's a little bit disingenuous from these websites, these sites, because they're looking for unnamed voters to give them dramatic things to put in these articles in order to get clickbait. And that's what that is, because a majority, if not 95% of the people do research and know, and they don't vote that way. Like, oh, because
how do you know that though? But how do you know that?
Adrian Brody won, and he'd won before for piano, or for the pianist. So to say, well, someone before shouldn't have won, and blah blah blah, and so I think I get your point, obviously, but I think this is a much more complex thing, and this is why I've always said, since I got in this space, I think everybody's ballot should be public. I think if you're in the Oscar voting public, your ballot should 100% be public. People are like, well, no, because then they'll get in trouble and that's part of the job. And if you can't handle it, get the fuck out and let someone else come in who can handle having their opinions scrutinized. I would happily vote in the Oscars and put my ballot out there. I have no problem defending what I believe. And I agree with you. It should be majority critics. I don't know about all critics, but should be majority critics who are part of this thing, because they're the ones seeing these actual movies and voting.
Or you should be required to see these, you should be required to see these movies, whether
it should be
signing into screenings or whatever it might be. You have to be required to see these movies.
100%. 100%. I'm so frustrated. Even Wendell Pierce tweeted that out last night, the guy who's on Elsbeth, and he was on The Wire. He said, I was at an Oscars party, a lot of Oscars voters, a lot of them told me they hadn't seen the movies.
Right.
So it's just like, well, what the fuck are we doing? Right, exactly. Yeah.
That's my point. Because a lot of these people, they're peers, right? Mm-hmm. So you look at these actors and other things, it's not their job to see all these movies.
No.
They're doing it because they want to be part of the club. Right? They're in it I want to be I want to be Academy a voter.
Yeah.
The critics for Critics' Choice, they have to see the movies for their profession.
Yeah.
So when they're voting on it, they're voting because that's their job. Like they have to go see these things.
Right.
Like it's not someone's job. They're like, hey, did you vote? Yeah. Did you see the movie yet? No, I didn't see it. You gonna see it? I don't know. I got an audition at 6 a.m. I'm not gonna watch that movie.
Right. Exactly.
Because there's no, it's as opposed to, well, I didn't do my review.
Right.
I didn't do this, and I didn't hit my editor. I didn't do this. And it's like, yeah, you just have, well, you have to see at least a couple of these so you can, it's a broken system. And it's not, and it basically, to answer your earlier question about the Brutalist, and once you get enough people saying, oh, this is the guy that should win, this is the guy, and then they go, all right, well, I'll watch the Brutalist, I'll watch that. And I mean, some of those people said they wouldn't even watch Dune 2 because they didn't like the first one.
Right. Exactly.
It's like, yeah, it was hard for me to take it seriously. And then when, you know, and I also will say, look, I loved Anora. It was in my top 10.
Yeah, I liked
it. I really liked the movie a lot.
Yeah.
But the fact that it's getting all these different, how many awards it did, was it the best? Like, I mean, I just thought these things are supposed to be the best, and I don't think it was the best.
The fact that he is the first person ever, that Sean Baker, to win 4 Oscars in one night, that's insane. Over Spielberg, Tarantino, Kurosawa, John Ford. I mean, there's so many great directors you could name, even the most recent stuff, you know, Nolan and what have you. But I agree with you. I think Anora is a damn good film. It's a fun film. It's an interesting film. It's one of the best films of the year for sure. It is not the best film of the year. And all these people talking about it like, we're going to look back on Anora like this incredible film 10 years from now. No, you're going to throw it in the pile with Nomadland and Coda and Moonlight, that they were great for the year and people were caught up in wanting to support it and they love the movie, but it's not the best movie.
Right. Like there's movies that stand the test of time that are like great movies that you're like,
will go back to the Brutalist.
Saving Private Ryan, by Brutalist. I don't know if people are going to go back to the Brutalist. I mean, maybe for filmmakers, but like it's not a watch again type movie. But it's strangely enough, Saving Private Ryan, which is pretty hard to watch, is a repeated movie to watch. Shakespeare in Love, you know, it's still a movie. It's still a movie that people will go back. It's like, does it stand the test of time? Pulp Fiction, you know, like do these movies stand the test of time, or like you said, is it just that was a really good movie for that year? Do they? But to me, if you win Best Picture, and that means that you should be put in the category of, you know, a meteoric rise to one of the best movies of all time. That's what you're doing.
It's a pantheon.
You're trying to find the best movie of 2000 every year. You're trying to find the best movie that when you're like, what was the best movie that you can remember? There's some movies you'll bring up from the Oscars that won the Oscars that like, okay, it was a good movie, but like, you know, it doesn't come up when you say, what is your favorite movie of all time? What's your top 10 movies? Those movies should pop up in those lists. They don't all the time because they're not. That's not why they're given out. They're given out. It's political, and I don't mean political in the way that it's become a hard word. I'm saying it's political, and as far like anything in when you're working or you're in high school, things are political. It's all politics, man. And there's a system about, and there's a way like we've talked about this with. Now, you and I see differently on the Andrea Riseborough situation, right? And how she and everything too. But my point, did you see the performance?
Yes, eventually I did because it was on Netflix. Great performance.
Right. And so, regardless of how you feel about how she got the nomination, what I pushed back against Winston the other day. He's like, she didn't deserve it. I said, did you see the performance? And he goes, no, I didn't see the movie. It's like it's the same way I said I can't say whether or not. You got to see the movie, and that's the problem with a lot of the voters. They go into that same thing. She didn't deserve to get it. Why? Did you see it? Nah. Shouldn't have tweeted about it.
Yeah.
Was it the best? That should be the answer.
Right.
I'll tell you what wasn't the best.
Okay. I do want to say it, but I thought it was a very good ceremony. I thought it was the best ceremony in years. Because to me, I think I'm a little different than you. For me, because I'm an insider in terms of loving movies since I was a fucking 8-year-old. I'm sorry to cuss so much. I gotta stop. 8-year-old. To me, movies are a massive part of my life. This is how I learned to speak English. You know, my parents were immigrants here. They didn't speak English well when they came here from Bolivia. I learned by watching movies. They plot me in front of a TV and I watch movies ad nauseum and learned how to speak English from them. So movies have always been a massive, massive part of my life. And I thought last night's ceremony was about honoring the films. I'm so tired of seeing ceremonies where they feel like, oh, we're not so important. We're just, awarding ourselves. This is one night where these people who work so hard. I think Brody said it well. I'm going to talk about his speech, but Brody said it so well. Like, yes, it looks like it's a glamorous job, but it's a very hard job. And you do have occasional nights like this where you get the get the spotlight, but it is a very hard job what a lot of these creatives do, both in front of and behind the camera. So having one night to celebrate it shouldn't be something they're made to be ashamed of. And so I like that this ceremony elevated and respected and showed you they loved movies, and I loved all the montages, and I thought that was great.
I saw the stupidest article about the Adrian Brody speech when you got up to the and I don't know how true it is, but they said people are furious on Adrian Brody throwing his gum to his wife.
Jesus, grow up.
If you are complaining about Adrian Brody throwing his gum to his wife, or I don't know if it's his wife, girlfriend, whatever.
It's his girlfriend.
He said partner, so I don't know. Whatever. If you are complaining about that, I will bring back a phrase I haven't said in a very long time. Shave your head and go to sleep. Because that is the stupid. If you're writing articles about it, shave your head and go to sleep. That is stupidity. It was a moment between
in the moment.
He realized he had gum in his mouth and didn't want to look at it. She caught it like Roman Reigns caught that freaking microphone from Brock Lesnar. It's like 100%. This is something that was in the moment. Now, his hour and a half speech, I probably could have done without, but whatever. And he maneuvered it like a guy who's been there before, right? And did you see the Halle Berry thing? That
I did afterwards. Yeah, she went up to him and kissed him as a kind of payback for what he did to her.
It was great. It was great. Adrian Brody's his speech broke the record. A long award season has come to an end. One of the exceptions was the Best Actor category, where the Brutalist star and former Oscar winner Adrian Brody took home his second Academy Award. That resulted in a speech that broke the Guinness Book World Records for the longest accepted speech in Oscars history. Brody's speech, which fluctuated between heartfelt, grateful, and rambling, clocked in at a reported 5 minutes and 40 seconds. That beats the previous record by Greer Garson at 5 minutes and 30 seconds. Even so, it's still behind the legendary 7 minutes and 59 seconds from God of War voice actor Christopher Judge at the Game Awards in 2022. The reaction to the speech has been divisive, with criticism over Brody being able to blow well past the allocated 45-second limit with little repercussions. That happened even as multiple other speeches were cut short, most notably the team behind Dune Part 2, who won for sound. Others took issue with the way before walking up the stage, he pulled some chewed up. It's so stupid. I'm not even going to read that. It's so dumb. It's so dumb. Brody also drew attention.
That's excellent. Oh, I didn't know that was Weinstein's ex-wife. That's who he's with now? Damn. I did not know that. Okay, go ahead. Yeah,
I guess so. Brody also drew attention to a more playful moment on the red carpet where Halle Berry had a revenge kiss for him. Then the Oscars also have come under fire for the In Memoriam segment, some taking issues with the use of Mozart's Requiem as speech. I thought it was a little too. Look, I don't take issue with it. I wish it wasn't as sad as it was. It was pretty dire. But whatever. It wasn't enough for me to write an article about it. And then you're always missing names. You always get this every year. So this time it was Michelle Trachtenberg, Tony Todd, Olivia Hussey, Linda Lavin, Martin Mull, James Darren, Chance Perdomo, Alan DeLon, and filmmaker Morgan Spurlock. There were people that are left off every year, and I understand why people go, "Hey, how'd you forget that person? How'd you forget that person?" I understand that. The gum, stupid. And he did go too long. It was rambling. Plan out what you're going to say, guy. Come on.
I didn't mind the speech because we hadn't had a long speech all night. I thought Zoe Saldana's speech was the best speech of the night.
She was good. I liked her speech much better than her speech at the Globes. I liked her.
Agreed. It was really honest and heartfelt.
Yes, it was. Yep. I got a little emotional when she looked at her mom and she found her mom in the crowd. That was great.
I mean, the way she said "mommy" and then talked about her sisters, how they influenced her. It's really beautiful. Kieran Culkin's speech was very funny. I thought there were a lot of speeches last night that were good, but those two,
Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande were great.
Oh my God, what an opening!
It was a great opening.
Right, but his speech was. I get what he was going for, so I have to give him grace, because as a man who has made mistakes when he was younger and cocky and all this stuff, when you get older, you really look back on your life and you go like, okay, I guess I was in a different frame of mind. It was a different person. And that's what he essentially was saying. When I won the first time, I got cocky and I rode and I thought I was going to get all this stuff, but Hollywood humbled me. And so to come back and be able to win again because people opened doors for me again and took a chance on me again means a lot. And so I think I agree with you. Could have been a bit more succinct, could have gotten to the point, should have probably wrote his speech out, as you said, because it's not like he wasn't a favorite.
Right. So, that's what I mean. It wasn't a surprise.
I also love the context, which was also about people coming together, people not judging people wanting to fight back against stuff. So I thought that was a sweet part of the speech, but I get it. It was long.
This is where people are going to get mad at me. For the majority of, I fast forwarded through the majority of the show.
Oh my God. It was such a good show.
The majority of it. This is what I did. And it was, first of all, I tweeted out, I completely forgot that it even started at 7:00. So when I found out it was at 8, I went, oops. And I tweeted out about it. I was like, I couldn't care less that I missed what I missed. But I went to the website, found Conan's opening monologue. It was on YouTube. So I watched it with family for like 18 minutes. Great. Watched Kieran's speech, knew he was going to win. Watched that. Thought it was a good speech. It was fast. It was entertaining. Okay. So I watched that. Then it was like, I started going through saying, I fast forwarded through, okay, who's representing? They're not funny. They're trying too hard. Fast forward. And then there was like, okay, here's who won. Great speech. You lost me. It's just the same dribble. Fast forward. I only watched like 4 speeches. The Bond thing was so sloppy. Fast forward. Oh, it was so sloppy. Fast forward. I fast forwarded through the majority of it, and I slept better because of
it. Well, I did a 4.5 watch along last night. We watched all of it on my channel. And I enjoyed it. And the fact that I didn't get up once to use the restroom or get a new drink meant that I was completely transfixed in watching the ceremony. A lot of people, I had almost 500 people join me who were watching with me, which is really nice. And we had a lot of fun with it. So for me, it was a damn good show. And I respect you didn't like it, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. And I would watch it again. It was such a good show. The beginning of the Bond thing was good with what's her face from Substance. Yes, Margaret Qualley. Well, you don't like that? No, because she can't dance. And people were like, "Oh, she's a dancer." Yeah, she may have taken dance classes, but she is not a professional dancer. And when the real dancers came in, you could tell the difference. Yeah. So it was fine to get attention for it, but I'm not a the show part of it. For the most part, I watched. The show part. I will say I watched more of the. Maybe it was a little harder on the Bond stuff. It was. I mean, feel free. A lot of people didn't like the Bond thing. Wasn't that bad, but it was sloppy. But it wasn't that bad. But the speeches, fast forwarded like it was my job. I'm tired of the same boring speeches. And so someone said, "You watch Sean Baker's speech?" No, right through it. I couldn't. Right. I really have to agree with you, man. I know people now are like, "Oh, Anora," but like for me, all this trumpeting about independent film and all this trumpeting about his speeches were so less magical and theatrical windows and. Great theatrical windows. Awesome. What are we going to do? It was an industry party. What are we going to do? Yeah, exactly. What are we going to do about the people who are terrible in the movie theater, which is why a lot of people aren't going to movies? It ain't got nothing to do with theatrical windows. It's crappy seats, crappy carpet, overpriced refreshments, overpriced tickets, and people being jerks in the movie once you get in there. So, do you want to see a comment? Do you want to see a comment that I love so much that I'm going to own, and I might even make a shirt out of this? Okay. Grump. 100%. Calling you a grump, and I'm going to own it like a fucking badge of honor. Give it to me, Dr. Radio. We'll change the name to Grump Daddies. We'll change the name to Grump. 100%, Dr. Radio. I am the Grump. Dr. Radio. I love the fact that Dr. Radio gave me that name. It's even better. Grump. I love it. Radio. Grump Harloff coming in hot. Who gave you that name, Dr. Radio? Hell yeah, it just sounds cool. I'm the Grump. Oh yeah, where'd you get that name, Dr. Radio? Where'd you get yours from? My cousin Frank. Yeah, it doesn't work as well. Isn't that cool? Hell yeah, it's not as cool. Dr. Radio gives you a name. Yeah. All right, let's get into something more positive. Okay, let's do it. Because I mean, there was a nice night, but we're being grumps, and we should do stuff that's you're being the grump. I know. Well, let's do something that's not going to be everything but positivity today, John. Okay. So it's nothing negative. Let's talk about Rachel Zegler's snow. Man, she was going overtime. Her and Gal Gadot that she was like, and the winner is. She was trying to be so cool and nice and unoffensive.
Everybody loved me.
Yes.
Nope. Too late. Rachel Zegler, Snow White, trafficking for $53 million box office opening. Ouch. Yeah. Disney's live action upstate stars Zegler as the iconic princess, while Gal Gadot plays the evil queen. Disney Snow White live action remake starring Rachel Zegler as the iconic princess is leading up to $53 million at the North American box office, according to a leading Hollywood research firm. While that's the target number, the range is anywhere from 48 to 58. There's sure to be plenty of debate whether that be a good, but would be a solid versus mess start for the spring tentpole. Directed by Mark Webb, the musical fantasy opens in 3 weeks on March 21st. Gal Gadot stars as the evil queen in the reimagining of the 1937 animated classic Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. The studio's marketing team will now unleash its final push for Snow White. Disney believes the movie has a perfect runway, considering it will be surrounded by male-driven action fare. Those with access to data provided by the National Research Group show that there is a high awareness for the movie among its target demos. The example, younger and teenage girls, as well as females of all ages. Other tracking services, such as the Quorum, believe that the movie has plenty of upside. In March 2015, Disney's live-action Cinderella debuted to $67 million domestically. How much did it cost, guys? That's what's the next. That's got to be the next one. Rival studios agree, saying Disney should never be underestimated. Over this past Christmas, many were quick to write off Mufasa the Lion King, but it debuted to $35 million domestically before taking off and earning $700 million globally. From Wicked producers Mark Platt and Jared LeBeouf, the musical features both original songs from the 37 film and new songs by Benji Pasek and Justin Paul, including the ballad "Waiting on a Wish." Let's see, the 200 million plus tentpole. That's the how much did Cinderella? John, can you look up how much Cinderella cost to make?
The new one,
the one from 2015.
Oh, the one with Brana. Yeah. Hold on.
See how much that's what I'm curious about. The 200 million plus tentpole has been a long time in the making, having been delayed by the pandemic. It also had controversy when Zegler, who is of Colombian descent, was cast in the role of Snow White. Well, it's not the only reason that there was controversy, though. Ew. In a recent interview, the West Side Story actress went on to speak about differences. There you go. To expect between the 20th and 21st century versions of the Snow White film. It's very important to the public to know that Disney has found this beautiful and delicate balance between the animated classic and everyone knows from 37, and at the same time introduces it to a new generation. That's a newer quote. Okay. All right. Well, that's that.
90 million is how much that is.
Right. Yeah. Right. So that's the difference. You can make and what it made 50 to 60 million in its opening weekend. That's a big number.
Yeah.
It's a big number for a $90 million. 55 to 65 million or whatever for a $200 million movie.
Yeah.
What I will agree with is that you do not count out people who are going to want to take their kids to see this movie.
Yeah.
Because the thing that happens, the audience that wants to see it is going to go opening weekend. They're going to see it, right?
Yeah.
The reason why these movies have an opportunity is the same reason that I said that I thought Mufasa was going to do fairly well, is because there's not a lot of content to take your children to see in the movie theaters. And this will be something that I look, my 6-year-old wants to see or my 7-year-old, keep calling 6. My 7-year-old wants to see this movie. And she said, I want to see the Snow White screening with you. If you can get people to take their children to see this, then it can continue, because there's not a lot of competition for that. The question is, will it be able to sustain that, or will it have kind of monumental drops like Captain America did? What do you feel? How is this faring?
It's so up in the air, because I think the Mufasa point is a very valid point. You never know with Disney. Look, a lot of people Moana 2 wasn't the best reviewed sequel. Yet look how it already crossed $1 billion. So you just never know with Disney. You never know how they're going to do the marketing and catch on. I think it was always going to be a tough sell with Rachel Zegler, who has not opened a film to big numbers yet. Her films have underperformed for the most part. Yeah. Gal Gadot doesn't have a lot of respect outside of the first Wonder Woman movie in terms of her ability to act. So I think it was a tough sell all around. Then the comments on the red carpet, so those didn't help, but they've been trying to change it around. So I think it all depends. I mean, Mark Platt, as they said, the producer of Wicked, he's producing this. Maybe there's a little magic formula here that when this comes out, it really catches on. and the pop culture zeitgeist, social media, TikToks, all of that, and people go see it because they are not aiming this for old fuddy grumps like you and I.
Yeah.
They're aiming it for young teens or young adults.
Yeah.
And if they can catch on there, then great. It becomes
100%.
And
I just wonder though, because it's like you really got like it's with the TikTok generation, and everything. It's just not like it used to be where everybody like my daughter, she never like with her friends. I remember being 13 years old and going to want to see a movie every weekend. I wanted to go with my friends and go see movies, right? These kids don't do that. They're either checking stuff on their TikToks or they're doing stuff on their cap cuts or whatever they're doing. They don't want they like this short form content. They don't want to go to the movie theater. Like they went and saw Wicked. So they went and saw Wicked. And that's why Wicked did, as good as it did too, because people were okay, that's a movie theater experience. Is Snow White going to be a movie theater experience for them? Like I said, for my 7-year-old, it certainly is, and that's one that she wants to see in the theater. Right. And if they can, and if it's one of those movies where you're like, all right, there's nothing out there to see right now, and I want to take my kids to something, then it could have long life. The question is, what do you know what comes out? I'm going to look at what comes out, what kind of competition it has afterwards. I'll give it a look.
Yeah, let's take a look at this. I'm not sure what it has around.
Yeah, because I don't know how much competition it has as far as its genre. There's a lot of movies that start to come out in that area. It's March. The movie comes out on March 21st. It's got Alto Nights, which is a gangster movie. That's the following week, March 28th, is The Woman in the Yard, which is a
horror film.
And Death of a Unicorn, which is also an A24 film. Minecraft, it might put it out of its. It might. I was going to put it out of misery. I don't know if it's going to be misery, but it might put it. It might hurt it because April 4th, Minecraft comes out, and then that's where it has its competition.
Yeah.
So it really only has about 3 or 4 weeks to see if it can hold against. If it's really good, if it's a really good movie, then it's going to be able to do that. That's going to be the telling thing, because like you always have those projected numbers, but then sometimes projected numbers. Like, but the movie was really good, and then it starts to like, word of mouth starts to catch on a little bit more, and then it starts to do decent, right?
Yeah.
But if it's just okay or bad, it's gonna have a problem.
Yeah, I don't think it's. Yeah, I just don't anticipate that it's going to be a good movie. I really don't, and so I think it's going to have a hard time getting over with the fan base that it's trying to attract. It doesn't feel like it's going to be a good movie, and I mean, how many people are clamoring for live action Snow White? So there's just a lot of things. Plus the dwarf. We didn't even talk about the
dwarves. I also think
mixed with real.
And I do think that the problem. Look, I think Rachel Zegler is a very talented actress. I think she was great in the Hunger Games movies. I think that she shot herself in her foot though when it came to the publicity on this, because she's not very well liked in public opinion right now for the people who are aware of her.
Right. She
just not. She's not very.
She hasn't earned it. I think that's the number one thing, Kristian. Like if she'd been part of these massive box office breaking movies, then I've got a voice and my voice carries weight. The fact that you're still coming in and your films haven't performed well until the Hunger Games one, it's kind of a voice that doesn't have a lot of resonance. And so the
PR people finally caught on to that, because as you said, the way she was in the Oscars, the statement she's been making lately.
Yeah.
Why that wasn't the initial play immediately after being cast in this movie is beyond me. That's not a Rachel Zegler problem. That's a Disney PR problem that has been a problem for a while.
Yeah.
And I think that they finally changed that. But like, it's just one of those things, like media training, man. It's like you're promoting a $200 million movie, or it's like, do not insult the audience that like the original. You can say that there's differences. You can say whatever you want to, but if you you see how people are very touchy about the things that they love.
Exactly. Like people love John Cena. They came out to me like crazy over the weekend.
Sure.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And that's the thing. And it becomes where and people know I'm outspoken. I can be quite liberal or progressive in my points of views, even though I do have some conservative point of views. I think with this kind of stuff, you got to be smart. And I get what she was going for. She's trying to do that girl boss thing and all of that, which I think is, you obviously you want to, women have been historically not treated well in the film business. Their points of views haven't been the mainstream point of view with a lot of these films. So I get it. They wanted to make a more feminist approach to Snow White. There's nothing wrong with that. But you also got to understand how to appeal to the people who may not be on that train. And this is a Disney film. So you want as many people as possible to come see your film, and they'll figure it out. They'll get the point of view you were going for. They'll get where you were at. Trust the audience to go along the ride. They don't need you to encourage them or force them or push them into your narrative. They'll do it. Just trust. And so I think a bit of hubris and arrogance is what was going on there. And clearly it blew up in her face,
Yep. We'll see what happens as it plays out. But all right, we're going to get to your questions because there's right now 51 of them, John. Not bad. Good start here going into the question round. We'll see if John can set the week and see what he can do. But before we do it, I'm going to tell you about some more wonderful sponsors, and then we will get to the questions. So stick around. Kickoff to me is super exciting in general because of what I'm doing in my life. I'm looking to I moved to New York for a reason, changing, and I wanted to get out of LA. Some people are like, oh, it was more expensive in New York. No, not where I live. And I needed to do some stuff and prove for my family. So time passes, and it passes kind of fast. So for me, it's like I remember meeting John in college. That was 20 years ago, something like that. It just flies by. And no matter how fast time flies by, it's never too late to make progress. If you're saving for a big purchase, whether it's a home, whether it's a car, and you got to build your credit fast, Kickoff can help that. They are the #1 credit building app in the App Store, and plans start at just $5 a month. There's no credit check. There's no hidden fees. There's no interest. So for me, it was a matter of just building up that credit, making sure that, when you want to try to get a loan for a house, man, that's what you got to do. So that's what I'm telling you. For the credit goals for me, I want to make sure that I have good credit, paying off everything. And I found them because they're like, hey, this is something you'd be interested in. And I was like, yes, it is. What's so great is if your credit's under 600, you could jump 28 points in like your first month. It's a smart, legit credit hack with no catch. There's no credit check. There's no hidden fees. There's no interest. It's simple. You just make a one-time payment. The credit bureau sees the good behavior, and then your credit grows fast. You can start building credit immediately for only $1 first month. It's affordable. Well, autopay, you never have to worry about missing a payment. You just build credit in your sleep. Sign up in minutes from your phone. No credit check. Cancel anytime. Kickoff is the #1 credit building app out there. You build credit fast. You get your first month for just $1 at GetKickoff, KIKOFF.com/Kristian today. I've really been making fitness a priority lately, and I want to make sure that my nutrition is part of that. So I've been getting Factor, man. And Factor has chef-made gourmet meals that make eating pretty easy. They're dietitian approved, and they're ready to heat in 2 minutes, so you can fuel up right then and there, no matter what life throws at you. The great thing about Factor, it arrives fresh and it's fully prepared. It's perfect for any active, busy lifestyle. I can tell you it's been an absolute lifestyle changer for me. It's got over 40 options across 8 dietary performances on the menu each week. It's easy to pick meals tailored to your goals. Factor can help you feel your best all day long with wholesome smoothies, breakfast, grab-and-go snacks, and more add-ons. You can reach your goals this year with ingredients you can trust and convenience that can't be beat. So you want to eat smart with Factor. You get started at factormeals.com/factorpodcast and use the code Factor Podcast to get 50% off your first box plus free shipping. That is code Factor Podcast at factormeals.com/Factor Podcast. You get 50% off plus free shipping on your first box. Factor. If the slots are spinning, you could be winning. You got to head on over to DraftKings Casino. You got to play the classics you know and you love, or try something new with DraftKings exclusive games. Plus, new players that give DraftKings Casino a spin can earn anywhere from $5 to $1,000 in casino credits. You just got to sign up and use the code HarloffXX and wager at least $100 on slots or table games to receive up to $1,000 in casino credits. Only on DraftKings Casino. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. 21 plus. Physically present in Connecticut, Michigan, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, West Virginia only. Void in Ontario. Eligibility restrictions apply. New customers only. Minimum $100 in wagers required for reward. Play and earn rewards for up to 7 days. Varies by tier reach. Slots and table games only. Non-withdrawable casino credits expire in 168 hours. Wager $70,000 for maximum reward. Terms at casino.draftkings.com/promos. Ends March 16th, 2025 at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time. Thank you again. Wonderful sponsors there. And as I tell you guys, please, you want to help out the show, you go to the link in the description. Check it out. Thank you. John, we got a bunch. We got some good questions here today, but before we do it, what's going on in the channel, man?
Hey, it's the Outlaw Nation channel. Head on over there. YouTube.com/John Rocha says we got a lot going on this week with the Geek Buddy stuff going on, the Hot Mic, the Jedi Way at some point this week. And of course, my live shows continuing and reactions to things happening. You want to hear more about my takes on Cena and the Oscars? I'll probably go live later on today. If not, I'll hang out with the Geek Buddies and do an Oscars recap. So look for all that coming on the Outlaw Nation channel this week. YouTube.com/John Rocha says. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. All right, let's do. I just got to do something real quick.
Okay.
And then we're going to get to these questiones. We got a bunch. We got a bunch of questions. I'm excited to get to them. Again, thank you to everybody who's in here. If you want to keep this, basically the way it works, if you're brand new to the show, you've never been here before, yeah, you keep your questions going, and we'll stay on until the last one is read. So we're going to start with GoPal. I finished 0 Day, and I thought it was okay, as people have said. I did give me a subwoofer, a good workout at least. Which was 0 Day? Which one is that? Is that the Nero one? Yeah, I heard it was just like okay, right?
Yeah, I heard it was okay. Yes,
right. So you didn't see any. You haven't.
How
seen
did it give a subwoofer? I don't know how it gave a subwoofer a workout.
Actually, maybe there's a lot of explosions. I don't know.
Action scenes.
I don't know. Maybe I didn't see it. Bobby, what's up, Bobby? Do you think that Marvel might try and use their specials, like the upcoming Punisher one, as backdoor pilots for potential series? Maybe if there's interest of it and they're listening to what's happening, I think that's a possibility. What do you think, John?
I think we're going to get less and less series. I think they want to move away from that. I just breaking today. I just read now the Tiana long form series. Disney just canceled that, and they want to make a movie out of it instead. I think, and so I think we're going to see Disney move away from long form series. I know Born Again is about to come out and what have you, but I think we're only going to get those occasionally, as opposed to the amount that we got over the last 5 years. So yeah, maybe they'll do that, the backdoor pilot thing, but why would you do backdoor pilot if you believe in the character? It's a bad move, in my opinion.
Well, especially the Punisher, when you know that he's had a series that really worked, but I guess they got to figure it out if they're gonna make that work. But I do think that you got a better shot in the Netflix area though to get those series, because I don't know if have you watched the first 2 yet?
I'm watching 5 of them today and 4 tomorrow.
You haven't seen any of them yet?
None of them.
All right, my immediate reaction of it was just like, I'm so glad they did the series the way that they're doing. It's awesome. So it's really great. Daynapper, besides all of them, which Oscar winner from last night do you think is getting a call from the DCU, MCU, Star Wars today? I don't know about today, but I'm sure Mikey Madison's going to get a lot. She's going to be getting a lot of stuff for sure.
Mikey Madison, that could be a new Catwoman. I know you've got Zoe Kravitz, but if you're creating a new Catwoman and with the new Batman, you Gunn keeps saying, well, that is tailor-made to play that character. So X-Men is certainly a possibility for Mikey Madison, I think, as well, if you want to go the Marvel route. Star Wars, I don't think so much, but the other two for sure.
This one was one that was missed on Friday. It was from Darian Scalmoni. He said, hey guys, it's been a minute. I'm a massive fan of the Capes and Cal show. Been loving the rewatch with Sam, also making me sad for the old MCU. I hope Feige and company can right the ship sooner than later. Yeah, I mean, I think that it is. It's funny because I'm watching the MCU and I haven't really come to reality yet, because I'm still like, oh yeah, I'm enjoying watching because I'm watching the old Spider-Man movies right now. And even though Spider-Man 3 is coming out tomorrow for us, and then we get into Far From Home, which then leads into WandaVision, right? So I'm still in a good spot. It's like, it's not until, after that it starts going downhill for me anyway.
Right on.
Yeah. Thank you, Jerry.
Mhm.
All right, next one. This is Thunder Force 2000. I think John Cena's heel run will be similar to Shawn Michaels in 2005. He does the job, and then he goes right back to being babyface. Do you think there's any shot that he wins the championship?
God, I hope not. Oh my God. Yes, I think there absolutely is a shot. Because if The Rock wants to do it, The Rock gets what he wants now, and I think that would be horrible. But
horrible. Why? Just because it's Cena. The points you were making before, or
yes,
because
Cena
like
can't wrestle.
But is there a shot they give him his 17th title to beat Flair?
Yeah, but what does it mean? What does it matter? He hasn't been active. He hasn't been winning matches. So you like hand him the title. Oh, great. Just to break the record.
Right. Does Flair get involved?
Flair's already gotten involved.
I know. I saw that tweet. But does he physically get involved with Stone Cold and
can he still get involved? I mean, at his age, you can
smash him in the head with something. You know, we smash somebody in the head with something. Doesn't matter how old you are.
This is my point, though, isn't it? Like, if he does turn like, there's 7 months left, I think, on this quote unquote farewell tour, which I think majority of people have already said farewell. If he turns face before the end, then what was the heel turn for? It meant nothing. And that's the problem I have with it, you know. And the Hogan heel turn back to face with NWO when he came back, he'd already been NWO for a number of years, so that face turn was great and made sense, right? But like this, if you're gonna turn a guy heel after 20 years and he goes back to being a face 5 months later, it was a waste. It was a waste.
I wonder. It's curious. There was some. I don't know. Have you having this problem, John, with StreamYard?
It's
like it misses some super chats sometimes.
Yeah, I've had that the last couple of weeks. I've had to catch up with other people who've sent me messages that it wasn't read, and I'm like, I don't know where that was.
I don't know why it's happening. Day Napper. Well, now I don't like Anora even more. So Nathan Drake. I get the feeling that Gal Gadot and Rachel Zegler don't get along. When do the early reactions for Snow White release? Well, I mean, there haven't been any screenings for it. So they're probably going to screen it the week before. As far as them getting along, I mean, I don't know.
I haven't seen or heard anything on that. So
yeah, I'm not sure. Doug Developer. Thank you.
I want to take this one down though, since it's the Thunder Force one. Yeah. Okay.
Sorry.
Doug Developer. Yeah.
Let me get it. Hold on. Okay. Doug Developer says Rourke, Keaton, Stallone, Demi, which failed Oscar comeback bummed you out the most? Please rank those actors based on you felt deserved to win over his or her respective competition the most. I think Stallone is the front runner in there.
I agree. Yeah.
What he did in Creed was his performance, and it's not my favorite Rocky movie, but it's his best performance in any of those movies.
Yeah.
He's really, really solid in that movie. I mean, the stuff that he's doing when he's the cancer scenes and things. He's incredible in that movie. So Stallone over Rylance for sure.
Yeah.
Keaton, it was Keaton Birdman? Is that the one he lost?
Yeah, Birdman. Yeah.
Who did he lose to?
Oh, I don't remember. Okay, go the other ones now.
Okay, and then Mickey Rourke is whoever he lost to too. So I would say
well, I think it was DiCaprio. I think he lost to DiCaprio.
Keaton lost to DiCaprio for what? For Revenant?
No. He lost to Eddie Redmayne for Theory of Everything. Oof. No, I would have given it to Keaton.
I probably would have given it to Keaton, but I did like Eddie Redmayne in that movie a lot. And he was pretty damn good in it. He was pretty good in that movie.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That was tough. I could have voted. I mean, honestly, I think Eddie Redmayne was really good in that. So I could have.
That's more even. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's more even. Mickey Rourke. Who did he lose to?
Sean Penn for Milk, I think.
Nah, Sean Penn was pretty damn good in that. So that's a hard one to. And I love Mickey Rourke in that movie. Loved him in that movie.
Yeah.
I would say Stallone, Demi Moore.
I agree.
Rourke, and then Keaton.
I think I agree with your list. That makes sense. Yeah.
Okay, and then so Ewok. Hope Estonia wins next year just to show Conan. That's hilarious.
That was a good joke.
Yeah, it was good. This is the last one that we missed, I think. Okay. Morphadurf. Thoughts on Flo winning? I absolutely loved it. And Rocha, the most emotional final line said in film history. Jim, your name is Jim. I don't know what that means, but I guess I will if I see the movie.
That's Star Trek 3. He's making reference to Star Trek 3.
Good. Okay.
Jim, your name is Jim. Yeah.
So yeah, I like I said earlier, I can't tell you what I think of Flo winning because I haven't seen it, and I don't want to be one of those people going, "Oh yeah, it didn't deserve to win." I don't know. Maybe it did.
I might do a reaction to it this week because it's on.
Are you?
I think it's on HBO. So I
Okay.
want to see it.
Okay. Yeah, we just did the John Cena, and now we're back to Hank Pym. I was at Raw and NXT last week. It was a phenomenal time. Any memorable live WWE show stories from you guys? Also, very excited for Mammy Bianca at Mania. So, I mean, there's two for me that stand out. Obviously, one is an actual event, and two is just an experience. The first, well, three. I'll give you three. The first is WrestleMania 2. Going to WrestleMania 2.
You went to WrestleMania 2.
Yeah, my dad, and I used to just tell it straight.
Right?
Yeah, well, that was in LA.
Oh, that's right.
There was three parts of it. It was Chicago, New York, and LA. And I was at the Nassau one. And Roddy Piper boxed Mr. T at that one. And when I was co-hosting Roddy's show with him, rest in peace. I used to tell him all the time, every show that I would tell him that I was at WrestleMania 2, and he did the same thing every time. He always go, "Wait, you were at that one?" Like, yeah, Roddy, I was there. We talked about this. Like, I've been hitting the head a few times. I love that man. He was so great. Anyway, so that was obviously something that I always remember being with my dad on that one.
Yeah. The
whole experience of working there and just kind of being transported into that world and living there in those much as like you being a fan of sausages and then finding out how the sausages were made is not the best, but being involved and being at all those different events and just was crazy. Flying on a freaking jet with Shane McMahon and Vince and all those and like it was surreal, Yeah. So that's something. And then the lead up to that, driving to WrestleMania 17 and ultimately got me that job and being there at WrestleMania 17. So those are the three that really stand out.
That's one of the best WrestleManias too, man.
Yeah.
Rock and Stone Cold at the end.
Yeah.
What the hell? Rise in a damn beer with Satan himself. I love that JR call. I only have two. I don't go to a lot of the live events. I had a really great time years ago to a SmackDown in LA because I got to meet Triple H, the massive man, in person. His hands are like meat claws, and shaking his hand, and got to hang out with Kurt Angle a little bit, who was very, very funny. And then when I was a kid, getting to go to the old Capitol Center in DC and seeing Hogan live, I will forever remember being in a place at the time, such a Hulkamaniac at 11 years old, seeing Hogan. It was the best.
Yeah, there was a few that I'm trying. I used to go to the Nassau Coliseum and Madison Square Garden like all the time when I was younger, with my dad and my friends all the time. So, but those are the ones that stand out the most. Right. Dennis Hoffman, Avengers, Secret Wars leaks felt like a diversion from Cap 4 falling off a cliff, barely grossing 80 million more than the Marvels. Thoughts?
No,
go ahead, Jim.
I think that Jeff said something on the hot mic last week that he said that according to his sources, they don't even know who's in Doomsday.
Right.
So it was interesting that these things leaked the next day or a day after or 2 days after that had like people who were supposedly in Doomsday, but it's actually Secret Wars. So I don't know. Who knows why these things leak? I don't think it's about taking the attention away Captain America. Pretty much everyone's moved on from Captain America. So I don't think it was that situation, but I don't know why they leaked.
I think they knew Captain America was in trouble. That's why they knew it. It wasn't a diversion. Yeah. They've already taken it on the chin. What was hilarious reminds me of taking on the chin. That Joker 2 joke was funny by Conan. I
think they should have let the LA Fire people talk seriously for about a minute or two and then done the roast jokes. It felt a little weird to do the roast jokes right off the bat.
They gave that guy the one that's like, whoa.
Yeah.
That was a tough one. Mark Long. Cena turning heel meant the hundreds of Make-A-Wish kids turned to dust. All right, so we're at the missing one because of the missing ones I have. You're at 66 right now.
Oh, 66. Yeah.
Al Rencha, your thoughts on the Doomsday Secret War leaks concept art? It might not make it to Final Cut, but it looks cool and everything I saw looks awesome. Yeah, I mean, I saw some of the stuff that they said. It does look great, but who knows how much is real. I like the idea of Dune sitting on that throne, and the thing that makes me nervous is like what he can distort reality and make his own reality. Is that what he can do?
Yeah, that's part of the powers that he acquires for the Secret Wars. So it'll be very interesting how he uses that if they do that in the film.
Yeah, because they had like a lot of different people doing stuff. So I'm curious. I don't know. Yeah. Mike Joyce, after seeing Luca snubbed by the Oscars this year for his excellent work in both queer and challengers, I'm worried that Julia Luca will be snubbed next year. I don't think so, man. I'm telling you, she's going to get a nomination, and he's going to get nominated too. It's my prediction.
Okay.
It's my prediction. Remember this. This is what? March.
Yeah.
She's getting nominated. He's getting nominated.
Mark it down.
Gonna happen. Javier Reyes. Could we potentially get a face CM Punk versus a heel Cena at Money in the Bank for the WWE Championship 14 years after they had their epic match?
God, I guess. Yes.
Who won Money in the Bank last year?
Jay, I think. Yeah, I think Jay won last
year. Jay has it now?
And yeah.
Or he cashed it in already?
I think he cashed it in.
Okay. So there's no open ones now, right?
No, I don't think so. No.
Okay.
I think was it? No, Drew McIntyre won. And remember, he blew it. He cashed it in and blew it because CM Punk screwed him over.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, my bad.
Yeah. And then Tiffany Stratton cashed in. Got it. Okay, so they're doing a new one. Okay, I got it. I mean, it's possible. I mean, it depends on what they're going to do with him. I still don't know. So what are they going to do now? Clearly, there's going to be a triple threat between Roman, CM Punk, and Seth. That's going to be that's where they're going to be.
I think it's just going to be Seth and CM Punk. I think they're saving Roman to run in to stop The Rock. I think that's
what's going to be a steel cage. What's it going to be? What's the
probably steel cage.
Something like that, right?
Yeah, it's got to be Hell in a Cell or some version of it. Yeah, I agree.
Because it's just because the two of them are just so like they both keep costing each other. Yeah. I mean, I like watching them fight, but it's like this should be the last one.
Okay.
Yeah. Ewok. Sean Baker now has the most Oscar wins for a single film. Walt Disney also won 4 in one night, but his wins were for 4 separate animated shorts. Yeah. Well, he did a lot of shit though. I mean, Sean Baker did a lot of stuff. I'm not taking anything away from him. He did a lot. The editing. I mean, he did a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was his movie.
Yeah. Artem. Saw Andrew Guy in the episode of Matlock on Sunday. Always brings back memory of his win versus Merle. Miss Schmodown sometimes. I did. He was really good on it. I saw it. He's gonna be on the show on Wednesday. So, but he was really good on the show, and it's and he had a big role. So,
okay. I guess I have to catch up.
People have to check it out. It's on Max now.
Nice.
Malik Dozer.
It's on Paramount Plus. Paramount Plus, not Max.
Paramount Plus. Sorry, not Max. Yes. Mark just became a YouTube member. Thank you so much. Here we're getting new members all the time. We're gonna have some new material on there this week. Darian again. Thank you, Darian. What's up, boys? Hope you're having a great day. Pump for Anora and local New Jersey boy Sean Baker on his night at the Academy Awards. Rocha, much love for you as well. Love checking out the hot mic every Thursday. Thank you, Darian. Darian's great. Yeah, I mean, look, nothing against again, East Coast guy. The movie was good. Do I think he was the best? No. Sean McCabe, Queens coming in the house. Hey guys, a great weekend with my daughter. Cap 4 ice cream and comics. Topped it off at home, laughing my ass off at your Craven reaction. Yeah, man, that was something to watch. That was
you did the Craven reaction?
Yeah, I did Craven. Wow. And as about as many people watched that as the movie itself. But Sean did. Thank you, Sean. Corn Emperor. What does it say about the Oscars that today's clips focuses on wrestling? Well, I mean, that's a me thing too, because I was going over it with Luke, and I was like, I'm not leading the show with the Oscars. I couldn't.
Yeah.
I just don't care enough. Crashing Coyote. I hope that Cena beats Cody and Hulk's record, giving him final run. Oh, all the way that many years? I don't think that record's ever going to be. Well, I mean, first of all, Hulk doesn't have a record.
No, it's Ric Flair's record. Yeah,
I think he's talking about. It's Cody and Hulk. Yeah, okay. Do you mean Ric Flair's record?
Yeah, Ric Flair's record, I think, is what he's
Hulk's record. Hulk doesn't really have a record. The record that Roman was trying to beat, people kept saying beating Hulk's record. But he didn't even hold the record.
Yeah.
He just would have gotten closer to, I mean, Bruno Sammartino had it for like 87 years.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
Right. Let's see, next one after that. Stellar Justin Lopez. John Cena turns babyface on SmackDown November 6, 2003, and subsequently remained one for. Was he bad when he debuted?
Yeah, when he first, it was Doctor of Thugonomics. He was. He was a heel when he first came out.
Because I wasn't watching.
People were excited because they're like, "Oh, we'll get new raps."
Okay, I wasn't watching back there. 21 years, 3 months, and 23 days. That makes sense. Okay. Mario Bell, Cena is part of the Susia coalition now. Sam has been calling Mary Jane from the Tobey Maguire movie Susia.
That's great.
I knew you'd appreciate that. It's just a little Susia. Karen Voder Meaden. Thank you, Karen. I stand with Ukraine. The opening of the Oscars was wonderful. The opening was wonderful.
Yeah.
The opening was wonderful. It had I thought they really, the song between the two of them, they gave Ariana Grande the more recognizable song to open with. But Cynthia knocked it out of the park, and then they combined together, and it was great. It was solid.
Connected because Cynthia's black, so doing the Wiz song makes sense.
100% it did. But it's still like, that are the two movies you're right, like, it's the more recognizable, but nonetheless, she's an incredible singer, and it was
they were so
the two of them. Yeah, they were together. Yeah, you can tell those two. You're not going to report to them not getting along.
No.
Tristan Green, what's up, my guys? Thoughts on the Jade Cargill situation? I think Bianca ends up being behind it, and Liv is the MVP of the women right now. Okay, so first off, because I want to address the other guy's comment about Bianca, this is my difference. Like, say, like between like the Jey Uso situation.
Okay.
Yeah, I've told you, I don't think Bianca is very strong on like the mic. She feels like she's acting a lot of the times, but she is so good in the ring. Who cares?
All right.
Like, she's so good in the ring. Like, that's the match you got to make. You got to make Rhea versus Bianca. I mean, that's the match you got to make. Plus their history that they have and the things that they've gone through before. That's the match. Now, adding this drama behind it, very smart, great, good storytelling behind it. I don't know enough about it, but do you think that they're gonna make her heel?
Yes, 100%. Yeah. I mean, they gotta see what they have in Jade. She had a bit of a run, but then got injured, and now she's coming back. She delivered a SmackDown hardcore on Naomi, but and Bianca did that thing of banging on like she was playing like, no, you got it wrong. Like she was playing the person trying to help her friend, but in fact, she is the actual person. So it's a smart move to turn it around. And I think Bianca can carry a storyline like that. So it'll be a lot of fun between those two, after she's done with WrestleMania. So yeah. And I don't know where you go. Do you let Bianca win or do you let Rhea win? It's an interesting situation.
I think they're gonna keep Rhea with the title because she wasn't supposed to lose when she got injured.
Yeah, right. Exactly. It was Liv injured her on accident.
Yeah, she was supposed to have like a long run. And then I think they were smart in how they played it, where you kept, I think Liv had it for as long as Liv should have had it.
Yep. Agreed.
And then you give it back to her, you little bit, because Liv, I know you don't think she's the best in ring, but you got to admit she is a major WWE female star.
She's absolutely a star. You can't deny it. I think she's a mid-card wrestler, but in terms of stardom and people, and of course she's gorgeous, which helps. And please don't tell me that's not part of the fucking equation.
Nope.
She is. People like her, so that's what it is. And she makes the most of it. So respect to her. And she took. I mean, I don't know if you saw her social media, but she took pictures of her body after the hair whip from Bianca.
She takes a beating every time she goes out there.
Yep. No doubt.
Like, not to the extent of Mick Foley, but she takes a beating. She's the one that got knocked out by the Bellas. I mean, she takes a beating, and I think she's my favorite. I think she's my favorite. I'm telling you, she's my favorite for her work ethic. I like what she does. As far as her, do I think she should be the champion? No, I think her time is done as champion right now. Anyway, I think Rhea should be the champion, but I think that she's just really good. Tim Sim, what's up, bud? Before the heel turn, when Cena beat Punk, I thought, yep, WrestleMania 40 isn't getting topped, and Punk is getting wasted again. But then after the heel turn, I'm intrigued, and I have no idea where this road to WrestleMania goes, which may be good. Yes, 100%. I think that's exactly why they did it. Had it been the first part, Tim, I think that is the issue that they would have run into. My friend James said the same thing. He's like, if it was face versus face, I'm not even watching. But
I
now,
agree.
yeah, Stellar Justin Lopez. Cena has to go over at WrestleMania, or the heel turn means nothing. Cody is popular, but transcending wrestling is hard. There's more money in Cody chasing Cena during the summer and winning the title back. I don't disagree.
Ugh.
I don't disagree. I think that there's a good shot that Cena wins the championship for what Justin just said. I think he's right. I think there's more about Cody trying to become a 2-time champion and getting it back from and if The Rock does the same thing again, where he comes back for WrestleMania, but he gets thwarted again, it's like how serious can you take the final boss again?
Well, see, and this is the creative thing, right? A lot of people were comparing this to Hogan's turn, which is ridiculous, not even close. But like, because here's the deal. Hogan was coming down to the ring. You had no idea whose side he was going to be
until Bobby Heenan gave it away.
Stupidly gave it away, which is such a jerk move. But then it happened, and when it happened, everyone was shocked, right? Everyone was shocked because Hogan was still wrestling. He was still a main eventer. He was still in a full-time wrestler and all of that. Yes, he was making Thunder Paradise, whatever that stupid show was. Yes, but he was basically a full-time wrestler. Nobody knew what was going to happen. With Cena, so what happens if Cody says, yes, I sell my soul? Then what does Cena do at that point? Well, I was still going to go bad, so now it's the three of us? It would have been stupid. So the setup creatively didn't work for me because it doesn't make sense. Did The Rock know Cody was going to say no? So therefore he had was he already going to turn heel? So
maybe he knew. Yeah, maybe he knew Cody was going to say no.
Yeah, but then it just doesn't work. And so to me, creatively, the way they set it up didn't work because of the way and the overacting. Oh my God, this was a Lionsgate level of overacting.
Lionsgate.
I mean, come on, this is like a bad straight to D. Like Rock's like, and Cena's like, it was like so. It's like
I know. I got a kick out of it. Julius Wyatt. How about both times Randy Orton came back? CM Punk returns the first time, and then Cena turns heel. I thought Punk and Cena still had chemistry in the ring. I know Punk. Well, it wasn't just that; it was the Jade thing first.
Yeah,
that was that's a big turn. Like, oh my gosh, that's a big turn. And then they get then Randy comes back, and you're like, oh yeah. And then both of those are overshadowed. I actually think that, unfortunately for Randy, I think that's the third one out of the three of those. We didn't even talk about the Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn.
That was even I was like, please stop.
Yeah, right. Yeah, they were really beating the hell out of it. My daughter couldn't watch it anymore. Little one.
Of course.
She goes, I don't want to watch this. Too violent for me. She's like, I'm going to keep drawing. I'm like, that's fine. So, David T. Punk still has that favor with Heyman. Well, what can Heyman do? This is what I don't understand about the favor. What favor can he call in?
Maybe help him beat Rollins, or maybe help
the main event.
Maybe. I don't know. Man.
Because the other side of it is Cody doesn't have any backup
right now. But a few years ago,
does he?
What about with Stone Cold? Stone Cold said, "Whenever you need a backup, I'll be there for you."
I saw that, and I think if they can finally get, because they're doing it in Vegas this year, and Stone Cold said the reason why is it's not very far from him, so he would do it. But every time with Stone Cold, the report is that they have him ready to go, and then he wants more money. So the question is, are they gonna pay him to do it this time, or I think they kind of need him, because as much as it was great to see the Undertaker, how much more of a benefit would it have been to have Stone Cold? However, if they can use him this way instead, it might work.
It'll be Stone Cold and Roman versus The Rock, Triple H, and Cody. That's. Oh, sorry.
Versus or just in their corner.
No, it's in their corner. Like Triple H is never getting in the ring again to wrestle.
I don't think Stone Cold's going to be announced to be there.
No. He'll show up.
He's just going to show up because that's what people are going to talk about. Right. And he'll stun The Rock and he'll stun Cena. Yeah. Julius Wyatt. With that said, I hope Cena gets into better ring shape because my guy looked tired. Curious what Punk's favor is. Charlotte better not beat Tiffany. I'm with you on that last part. I think that they got to use Charlotte to get Tiffany over.
Yeah.
I don't know the favor. I still don't really understand it. Like what is it? And then I don't think they know what it is. And then as far as him getting in shape, I mean, if there's anybody that can do it, and probably do it pretty well. He will get himself back in shape.
A lot of people were like, well, he wrestled 35 minutes. Did you watch the match? He laid around for 30 of those 35 minutes, for God's sake. He was either in the chamber or laying on the ground for 30 of those 35 minutes. He's like Rocky and Rocky Balboa. We all you can do is throw hurting bombs. That's all Cena has is the big moves now. He can't wrestle a full match for 20 minutes. Forget it.
Yeah, it's so funny. Some people like Jay is over. To who? The wrestling audience in the crowd that day? To who? Who is? You think he's a mainstream star?
Yes.
Screen talk. This is screen talk again. Back here. He is so wrong. He is so wrong. No, like the mainstream audience. You're a wrestling guy. Screen talk. You're a wrestling guy. He's not a mainstream crossover star. You're wrong.
That's a different thing. I don't think he's a crossover star, but I think he's a big star.
He can get people to go like this in a arena, and he sells his shirts, and he's the guy that I would put on every single card because the crowd's going to be going nuts and the energy's going crazy. Is he over in the crowd? 1,000%. No one's arguing with that. Can he cut a promo to save his life? No, can't.
Wow,
can't. His promos are terrible.
Okay,
Tim Sim. I agree with Rocha with Cena's ring rust concerns, but I want to see how it goes in the days to come, and hope WWE plays their cards right. Also, like it or not, I think CM Punk's return is now being wasted by not giving him WrestleMania main event properly. Tim, I'm not going to disagree with you on that last part. I'm going to tell you why. Because the problem is he's no spring chicken.
Yes,
and he can get hurt. He hasn't gotten hurt. Knock on wood. He hasn't gotten hurt since his. Remember, he comes into the WWE and he hurt himself right away.
Yeah.
He's been healthy for a little bit and he's been taking care of himself, which is great. But he can get hurt tomorrow. Body's look. I'm working out for a week. I'm sore, and it's like it hurts. And he's going to be. There's only so long he can go.
Why don't you have this kind of conversation about Cena, who is older than Punk?
The difference is this: they're using. I am having the conversation about Punk. They're using. About Cena. They have him for a year, and they're using him for the year that they have him. They're putting him in the main event, so it's actually proving the point.
But I'm saying he's older, so he's more broken down than Punk.
Right, but if you have Cena, if you have him for a year, you use him to instead of saying, "Well, I don't put him in the main event picture." Just let him. Who'd you have him fight? Who's he fight?
I thought I've always been like, since they announced the farewell tour, I was like, oh, why are we doing a farewell tour for Cena? Like I was like, this is like Kobe Bryant getting $25 million for the last year he played on the Lakers as a thank you. Why aren't you trying to improve the team?
But I think they are improving here. That was my point with the Cody thing, is that they're going to put Cody in the feud. And it's one more big, huge feud that Cody's going to be in again, and it's really going to elevate him.
Go watch those Rock Cena WrestleMania matches. They aren't that great. So anyway, go ahead, man.
Mike Rebel, most memorable movie moment you had spoiled easily. I know this one easy. Mine was Han Solo's death in Force Awakens and Hulk snap. Both were in context, but then saw both coming. My friend John, who I actually just spoke to yesterday.
Not me. Okay.
No, not you. He had just gone to see Scream, and I was going to go see it. And he comes in. I remember exactly where I was. And he goes, "Oh, you would never know. It's two killers." I'm like, "What?" I go, "Dude, what are you doing?" He's like, "It's a good movie. You go see it anyway." What are you doing? Why would you tell me that? He's like, because it was crazy. And I'm like, you're not giving me any answer that makes any sense. How about you?
East Coast boys, man. You'll still like it.
Yeah, you'll figure it out.
Shit. I wish probably Vader being his dad.
Oh, really? You got that?
I had that spoiled at school.
Oh my God.
I remember so distinctly. It still worked for me in the theater, but it sucked hearing about it on the playground.
Yeah. Chris Daniel, I love you, Rocha. You're a madman with this Cena take. This is going to be a fun ride. Enjoy the ride The Rock's taking you on.
No, because it just helps him. It helps him think that he's right, which boosts his ego even more.
But if he's right, who cares? See, that's what. Now we get to the core of what this is really about. You turncoat. Stephanie Letts. Even Conan took a shot at Drake. That he did. He took a shot at Drake. Also. Drake. Yeah, you make a great point about the WWE not even focusing in that he was there.
That's amazing to me.
Crazy.
It would never have happened 2 years ago.
No way. Stellar Justin Lopez. I believe the main event of night one will be whatever match Roman is involved in, rumored to be Roman versus Rollins versus Punk. I think that's what's going to happen, which is unusual for a triple threat without a title. It's maybe I don't know what the stake is. I don't know.
I don't think he wrestles. I think Roman's still on that break. And I think he's not going to be in any match now. I think it's
You don't think
definitely
so?
Rollins Punk. Yeah,
You think he's going to come back and just show up? Yeah,
main event.
help Cody, maybe, and then you throw him right into that. But
then you can lead to Rock versus Roman at SummerSlam.
But the only problem is that he was taken out by Seth Rollins, though.
Yeah, I guess.
How often do you see somebody come back and then not go after the person that put him out?
It's true.
Yeah. Julius Wyatt. Cena won't be on Raw until the 17th. Oh, there you go. So you go to your screening tonight. Then.
That's even worse. He does the heel turn and he's not going to be on Raw for 14 days, for 2 weeks. What is the point?
Might be shooting. Jimmy J. I hope Cena comes out to a slow version of World Life.
Word Life, yeah.
Oh, what did I say? World Life? Yeah, Word Life. Motorola, what's up, Joe? I'll take the 5 movies of Doom 24/7, 365 over a mediocre spear, and then probably 10 to 15-minute concert entrance Jay is going to get. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
5 moves of Doom is correct.
You're going to get, because how many kicks did the Usos do to each other in that match last year? Can you tell me that match?
It was a terrible match. I'm never going to say
the worst match in WrestleMania history underneath Michael Cole.
Come on. Yeah, Michael Cole versus Jerry.
That's the worst.
That was the worst.
It was terrible. And the buildup that it had, all they did was kick each other.
Wasn't Snooki in a WrestleMania? That's probably the worst.
But the only thing was kicking each other. And
you're right.
It was terrible. And it's like, and we're going to watch him fight Gunther for the 7,000th time.
Wait on the buildup. We'll see.
Derek. There is Derek. Thank you, Derek. Derek's the man. Derek always coming in hot. Right now, I think we're at 71.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Okay. Francisco Lopez. Hey, guys. I want to see you two with Chris Van Vliet talking about wrestling. Maybe on the WrestleMania prediction show. Rocha, have you met Chris Van Vliet before? Yeah.
I've never met him. I've never. No, I would be honored to be on a show with him. I don't know. I'm not at you guys' level in terms of subscribers or whatever, but I would love to be on a show with you guys.
Yeah, we did a WrestleMania preview last year, he and I. And we'll do it again this year. You should come on with us.
I would love to come on, please.
Oh, okay, great. Yeah, I'll reach out. Chris has become a really good friend of mine. I text him back, and we were actually going back and forth on the Jey Uso thing when it happened with the Royal Rumble. But he's great. What's hilarious is that as I texted him the other day on my second day back when I was in the gym, I walked into this gym and they were playing Shawn Michaels' theme song, which was hilarious. And I said, dude, you're gonna love this. And he's like, that's amazing. So yeah. Sam, where would both of y'all say Anora would rank in the best picture wins for the past 10 years? That's we have to go through a list of.
That's tough.
You'd have to give me the 10 movies. And then I can tell you a list. If you want to list the 10 movies, John, while we go through it, and then list the 10, and we can say where it lands. That's hard to say. 74 right now, John. 74.
Hey, let's get to 100 people. Come on, help. Where's all the anti Rocha hate for the Cena takes?
No. I'm getting Darian. To be fair, I would have rather Denis or Chu for best director, but neither were nominated. Right. So that's more a reflection of the voting body overall, in my opinion. 1,000%. Absolutely. Yes, that's exactly right. Nathan Drake. Cena does look older than The Rock. He does.
Thank you.
He does. There's
that bald spot. Come on.
Yeah, it's tough. Good on him for not. That's how he feels. He wants to run around with that thing flapping around.
I have to tell you, I would have loved the turn if he was still in shape, still delivering great matches, and had been winning some. I mean, he looked terrible against Austin Theory, and people try to blame Theory for that. It's his job as the veteran to help put that match over for Theory, and he was terrible in that match.
What's going on with Theory?
I don't know.
Where's he even?
He's fallen out of favor. I think he's in that tag situation.
Him too, and the other. And again, they are look. There's, as I just said, I think there's a lot of things they're doing right. I think there's a lot of things they're doing wrong. I think they're playing with the same people because they have like bigger contracts and stuff with people. Like, why Austin Theory and Karrion Kross? Karrion Kross should be over. Like so, dude, he's so good on the mic.
I know, bro.
He is so good on the mic. He's probably one of the best guys they have on the mic, and they don't use him.
Yeah,
people crazy.
And Triple H for his creative recently. So
crazy. Like for the thing with we had Karrion on Sarah's podcast, and like Matt brought up something I'd never seen before. The dude breaks bats with his legs.
Yeah.
He should be doing that not really, but he should be doing that to like wrestlers and show like use that real life thing and start breaking people's legs. Running into, you know what I mean? Like, dude, make him a menace. Make him an absolute menace. Like he's just had enough. He's so good on the mic, and how they never did a bit with him and Jesse Ventura together is crazy.
Yeah.
The Ray Infinity Show.
Hey.
What's your thought on Netflix buying the rights to NFL Sunday afternoon games from CBS or Fox when the NFL renegotiate their TV deal in 2030? I mean, they probably have enough money to do it.
Yeah, they keep raising the prices on every month on us, so they clearly have enough money to make. It's going to happen. You know, these streaming services want sports, and so Netflix definitely has been opening the door. They had that 2 games last season rather, and so I like the idea because I have Netflix. So chilling out, turning it on, and watching it, I'm cool with it. I don't have a problem with that. What about you?
Yeah, I'm okay with that. I'm all right with it. Like it's. I like that. I prefer Raw on Netflix, to be honest with you. It's easy. It's the same thing. It's like it's pause, find the moment. That's I like streaming through it. Like the whole. I mean, you could do it. You could have done that on Hulu and everything too, but it's just not the same when you're watching it live.
I'll pay extra if Netflix carries all the games. I'll pay.
Right. Yeah, of course. Shane Canavan, as someone who grew up with Cena, even though I wasn't a fan of his, this was shocking to actually see. This was this generation's Hogan joining the NWO. Which is a fair point.
That's fair.
By the way, excited to see where it goes. That is true. Like you're tied to that moment, John, because when you were, in your 20s, and that's when that happened. That was a big moment for you.
Yeah,
because it was linked to your childhood because of Hogan.
Yes.
So it was linked to Hogan when he was the ultimate good guy. To then 10, 15 years later, you were like shocked. That's how a lot of these kids are seeing it with Cena.
I think no one under 30 should be trying to compare the two because you weren't there. You weren't there when he turned. And when he turned, it changed the whole, it shifted the axis of wrestling.
But those people under 30 if they don't have that reference and they weren't there, this is more powerful.
Yeah. And I totally respect that. It was frustrating me to hear people under 30 trying to say it was the same as when they didn't experience it. You have no idea what you're talking about. If you live through both, then I can have a conversation with you. If you didn't live through both and you weren't aware of pro wrestling, you didn't understand the effect of both, then you don't have a leg to stand on. You have to have experienced both in order to have a conversation about both and compare them, in my opinion.
Francisco Lopez, I didn't see all the movies from the Oscar except June 2, but last night's show was great. Conan did a good job as a host, and I was shocked Anora won. It's funny. People are trying to like do a gotcha moment. I mean, going, I saw your tweet. Yeah, I told you. I missed the first hour of it. And then I watched some of it on YouTube, and I fast forward through half the other shit, but I watched a lot of stuff too. So I'm not sure what the gotcha moment is. All right, next one. Josh Vaskovich, as a huge wrestling fan and cinephile, this was a fun weekend for myself personally. We need art to escape the bullshit reality every once in a while. I don't think anyone's going to dispute you on that, Josh.
Yeah.
Francisco, the amount win that they got because of all the Oscar season. I heard the Brutalist was one, and I know Anora made noise the last few weeks, but I was still in shock.
Yeah, I have to say, Kristian, I think this is an asterisk win. I know people are going to get offended by that, but like, how much of the
because of the controversy,
right? How much of the AI controversy affected the Brutalist or
it didn't affect Adrian Brody.
Yeah, would Emilia Perez have swept? I don't know.
Yeah,
how much of the Conclave stuff because of the twist? Like, there's questions to be had here. And so was Anora like kind of the safer choice in the end?
Well, but that's the question, right? Do you think this is if we're looking at those movies, this is why I think there should be always 10 nominations and everything.
I agree.
But like with do you think of those two movies, Emilia Perez and Anora, what's the better movie for you?
Oh, for me, Anora is the better movie, but you can't deny that Emilia had 13 nominations.
No. The hype that it had, and it looked like it was going to sweep around the boards until the controversy hurt. I'm not. There's no denying that. But it just goes to show my earlier point of that. If there was no controversy, it very well could have won.
Yes,
but in showing it, they weren't voting on whether or not it was a good movie.
That's a fair point.
That's my point. They're voting on
the merit of the film.
What they're voting on is the significance of it, or this, or this other thing. They're not voting on the actual film. And then they're like, "Oh, we can't vote on this because." Well, did you like the movie? Still vote on it then. If you still liked it and you thought it's still nominated, the movie itself didn't tweet. The star did. One of the stars did. So it just again it exposes the system. It just exposes the system is broken. It's a broken system. They're not nominating it. They're not nominating the best things. They're nominating of what they think they're supposed to, or what's culturally this and that. It's silly.
I think you can make a case that a lot of people voted for it because of the storyline that it was. Yeah, I don't disagree with you.
Yeah. Matt, it's odd that they cut the Dune Part 2 crew members off quickly, but they let Amelia Perez songwriters annoyingly sing on stage for way too long. Yeah, because because Adrian Brody went 87 minutes, and that is also it reminds me of it's stand-up comedy stuff. Like, and what I mean by that is when I'll never forget this. And I might have told this story before, maybe I didn't. I would just gotten made a regular at the Comedy Store, and basically the way it works is you become a regular, you get passed, and then you put your availabilities in, and they tell you when you get a spot, right?
Yeah.
So I'd gotten a spot in the original room, and I was so excited about it. I was obviously I'm like, okay, and I'm going up against I'm going up after somebody else, and right as I go up, Eddie Griffin gets on stage.
Yeah.
And Skippy Simon is a friend of mine. He's like, oh, all right. Because he had a set too. He's like, let's go. I go, what do you mean let's go? He's like, we're gonna go down the block, and we're gonna have a couple of drinks at the it was called the Miyagi House at the time.
Hey.
And I said I can't go. I got a set. He goes, dude, you're not going up anytime soon. He's like, Eddie's gonna be up there for like 2.5, 3 hours. And I said, no way. He's like, I'm not going to screw you over, because I thought maybe, I didn't know, I was a new guy. He's like, I'm not screwing you over, because Skippy was my friend,
right?
And he goes, come with me. We went there. We had a drink. We did a set at the Miyagi House. We had a drink. We had food. I came back. Eddie Griffin was still on stage. He was still on stage, and he didn't get up for quite a bit. And that's just a guy who had already been, and he was, in movies and things like that. And it's not to that extent of what Adrian Brody did, but Adrian Brody's not thinking about that.
Yeah.
You just cut off these guys. This is their moment in spotlight. Like, I love Dune 2. I fast forwarded through that thing too, so I don't even know what the hell you were talking about, because it's the same thing. But it doesn't mean that they should have been cut off.
Yeah. I agree. I'm a fan of 2 minutes. Everyone should have 2 minutes to talk about what they want to talk about.
Well,
and after 2 minutes, wrap it up.
Kieran Culkin, great speech.
Yeah.
Love Kieran Culkin.
2
Great.
minutes.
Francisco Lopez is a Dominican from New York City. Happy that Zoe won an Oscar.
Yeah.
I loved her speech this time. I did not like it at Golden Globes. Loved it for this one.
Yeah.
Loved it.
First ever Dominican to win, which is amazing.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
A-Soul. Biggest thing that ticked me off with the Oscars, the fact that Hulu messed up and cut the feed early. I missed the last 2 awards was livid. Not only did they do that, so the one thing I tried to do after I realized I missed the first hour of it, I tried to log into my Hulu account, and I couldn't log in. And I was like, what the hell's going on? Then I noticed it was a whole thing that was going on. But yeah, they dropped the ball on that. Yeah,
as I was doing the live reaction last night on my channel, all these people started chiming in. Hulu cut it. Hulu cut the live feed. It's crazy. Why would they do that?
I don't know. Stupid. Jay Barrett Mash. That transition from saying let's be more positive to talking about Snow White's made me cackle. Nice work. Thank you. Thank you very much. Kyle Wilson, did you see the Saturday Night Live cold open? Big Balls cameo. Not the real Big Balls. Gimmick infringement. I didn't see
such a terrible episode.
Was it bad?
Oh, it was so bad. Shane did all kinds of red state jokes to a blue state audience. It was so bad. And then the sketches themselves.
Did it bomb?
Oh, it bombed. Big.
Oh, really? Okay.
Oh, yeah. And the sketches themselves, he was looking at the cue cards through the entire show. So it was only his two beers joke. The 2 beers segment was hilarious. Everything else I thought was just
surprising, because he's pretty good as far as sketch goes. Yeah.
His first one was good. His first episode.
Carlton Rudder, London calling. What's up, man? John, thank you so much for your wonderful message with Steve on Cinephiles the other day. It means the world to me. It's a tough time.
Yeah, I love you.
Yeah, stay in there, Carlton. You're the best. I love Carlton. Carlton's one of the biggest supporters we got here. Thank you, buddy. I hope you're doing all right. Artem, do you think that people outside of this movie fan bubble might not know about Zegler controversy and will judge the movie based on its movie self? Yes, I do think that there's
sure.
I think the audience I was telling you about, the families who are just going to go and take their kids to go see a Snow White movie, they're not paying attention to that stuff anyway. But is that enough to turn it into a massive hit? I don't know.
I like the misspelling here, because now I have Dolph Ziggler as Snow White in my mind.
That would be even better. Hilarious. Jay Barrett Mash, for Rocha's question count.
Hey.
Yes, and we're close to about the 82 right now.
Thank you.
Rocha's question count. Happy that The Substance got makeup and Brutalist won what it did. What was your guys' favorite award win of the night? Personal reasons. Dune winning for sure, because I was like, at least they got some love.
Gee, that's tough.
And Zoe Saldana, I would say also.
I think Zoe. Yeah, Zoe was probably my favorite of the night. Yeah, probably Zoe.
Yeah, I really did like her speech.
Mm.
C Black, thoughts on Avenger Doomsday leaks. My biggest thought is I just want to see how they're going to explain all that stuff. There were cool images.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of how are they going to explain all of that craziness, because there's a lot of craziness.
I kind of just don't stop leaking stuff. Like,
yeah,
reveal, like, you know, if you're scooping stuff, great, but like leaking an entire, like that, all of that was just like, why do you want it ruined for you? Like, enjoy this, you know.
Dancing Dog 60, favorite old canon film. Breakin', yes. Delta Force, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Funniest to me is Invasion USA. I actually just listened to the Delta Force theme in my car the other day. The best. USA worst is Death Wish 2, Masters of the Universe, PU. I'm gonna say Delta Force. I actually want to go back and watch it again. Breaking 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Oh, I love the canon films. Are you kidding? Come on.
Yeah. Breaking 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Isn't all the Schwarzenegger canon? So I would say
maybe. Was Rambo was First Blood?
I think First Blood was probably,
or Rambo Part 2. I think Rambo Part 2 was.
All right.
If Rambo Part 2 was, then I think Rambo Part 2. Okay. Dancing Dog 60. I love Mikey, but find it sad that Demi lost playing a woman whose fear of being replaced by a younger one, losing to a very pretty younger woman. Wow. Yeah. I mean, it was Roxy wrote that. She says, essentially, this is the cast. This is the story of substance of what happened. She should have won. Demi Moore should have won.
100% Demi Moore should have won. But you know, people are saying like, well, Margaret Qualley carried half the film, so I can understand why, because Anora, she was through the whole movie, but Demi deserved to win. As you said, it wasn't about a sympathy vote. It was that she earned it. She earned
performance. It's the performance that you're in. If you qualify for, what was your performance? Because the same way that if you want to take that rationale, Anne Hathaway was great in Les Mis. She's in it for 33 seconds.
Yeah.
And she won the award. She's great in it, but she barely is in it. And so, you know, you got who had the best performance is the question.
Yeah.
Gopal. The music in Zero Day leaves heavy on infrasonics, which I had my walls rattling a couple times. Oh, there you go.
Interesting.
Okay. It is interesting.
Listen, Miss in Action is a canon film.
Oh, is it? Okay. Okay. I haven't seen that in forever. Then he pops out of the water and starts shooting like a man. That's right. Dancing Dog 60. Oh, is that Bloodsport one too? Ooh, if Rambo 2 isn't, then that's my number one.
Yeah.
I went to a Monday Night Nitro years ago. I never went to a Nitro during the NWO times, and it was a blast. However, after the show, there were fights in the parking lot. Crazy. I love that. Yeah, man. Where'd you go? Florida?
Yeah, probably. The NWO, man. That was a movement, y'all.
Yeah. I know. Sure. You must have lost. You must have lost your mind during that time.
I still go back and watch old NWO highlights on YouTube. Kidding, please. And they've never done a great NWO documentary. They've done good ones, but they've never done a great one that really explored everything that was
every aspect. Yeah, it's true. Gopal, my dad got a Bullets partial plan when I was in the 10th grade, so we went to the Cap Center a lot. Too bad they only had 22 games that year. Oh man, brutal.
Yeah, Bullets.
All right, we're getting down to it. We're getting down to the nitty-gritty here. This is from Selim King. First time donating. Didn't watch the Oscars. Too busy trimming Big Balls' pubes with rotten pineapple.
Yikes.
Poor Big Balls. How could the ceremony itself improve? Well, having the host that they did, for sure. And I think that for me, it's more about awareness with these movies. And it's not about the popular movie, which so many people just missed what I was saying, that there's got to be a better way to market these movies and get awareness for these films that people can actually see them, the public, if they want people to actually watch it, and keep making the show entertaining in the way that they did. And like John said, 2 minutes, you got a 2-minute speech, and I don't care. Your music pops up. I don't want to hear like, oh, I've been here before. So F you. You're out.
Yep.
That's it. And you get
somebody commercial in the middle of their speech.
That's it. Yeah. All right. Go ahead. Have a blast. Give your 8-minute speech. We'll at the same time we're showing a soap commercial. Anyway, Yinzer 412. I watched your reaction to Craven this weekend. It was my first time watch. I think it was the better way to watch it. I said that to people when I said, look, many people haven't probably even seen this movie, but are just going to watch it with us because they don't want to watch it. I said, I don't blame you. It's not like a terrible movie. It's just not good.
It's just not good.
Yeah. Hank Pym, Jade is terrible in the ring and even worse on the mic. She's not good on the mic. I don't think she's terrible in the ring. I think she's a little green. I think she's a little stiff. I wish she stayed out. Also put in 2 early super chats. I think I got him, Hank.
Yeah.
I think I got him. Hopefully. Luke, Can you confirm that I got those? But I'm pretty sure we read those already.
Luke.
Yeah. And then Reggie Brown. The other channels don't fear the Oscars anymore because right? Because NBC, CBS played new episodes of their Sunday shows. Yeah. It's because it's not a thing that everybody it used to be this thing where I remember when I was younger and my mom would go, the Oscars are on. Everybody like the families. I remember being at school, the Oscars are on. Everybody wanted to watch it. There's no world where my daughter didn't even know it was on. Her friends weren't talking about it. I told them that it was on. And no, it's not that anymore.
Nope.
We'll miss Debo in San Francisco. Hope he balls out with Commanders and keeps beating the Eagles and Cowboys. Some of his greatest moments were against them. You love that news, huh?
Debo's for a 5th round pick, please.
Yeah. Yep.
Thank you.
Yep. All right. Next one here. Thank you to everybody currently at around 88.
Oh,
88
nice.
Right now.
Thank you guys.
So, and Ewok. When the Bond segment began, for a second, I thought Brosnan, Craig, and Dalton might come out to pay tribute to Broccoli and Wilson, but no such luck. I know. I thought they would have brought out actual Bonds, but they probably couldn't be bothered. Do you think they were going to bring Bonds out?
No, I didn't think they were going to. But it was unusual tribute considering there's no Bond film. There's nothing on the horizon. It just seemed like an odd tribute, didn't it? Like, did Amazon put their foot down and be like, we're going to do a tribute. We're going to pay for you guys to do a tribute to our Bond film. I just don't understand it. It's weird.
Joe for show. Disagree completely with the Cena hater Rocha, and now you bring in Kobe. This man is stand-up Rocha because you're not making good points sitting down.
Like I give a shit what you think. But listen, Joe for show.
I love Joe.
You may not agree with me, but I hear you. But Kobe at the end was, he was, it wasn't that good. It wasn't a good team. So you know how it is. All the heroes break down. At
one point or another. Paul Hitchcock, no talk about the MCU Doomsday concept art leak. I mean, we talked about some of it, but I don't want to get too deep into it because first of all, I don't know how true it is.
Yeah.
And secondly, it's like there's not enough detail to it. I'm not going to tell you that they won't cover it on Capes and Cows. I'm not going to be on Capes and Cows this Friday.
Oh.
But they might cover it. So
are the boys hosting? Solo?
They're hosting. Yeah, they're hosting on Friday. You're hosting on Monday. They're hosting on Friday.
I am hosting on Monday.
Yes. Met Bull. There's James. Would you bet on Punk ever getting a WrestleMania main event now? And I'm referring to Sunday night main event for the primary men's title. I would say that if he's healthy, they'll probably give it to him next year if he stays that long. But it's a crapshoot. He'll
never main event a WrestleMania. I don't think he'll as a
even if he sticks around. No,
I don't think so. He's 46. He'll be 47, 48 next year. No, he's not going to main event a WrestleMania. And that isn't the point of him coming back. It's a nice thing to talk about. And Punk knows that. I think Punk came back and look, the way he left was pretty terrible. And so the fact that they even opened the door to bring him back, Punk's done all the right things since he came back. He's very respectful. He's very, he's subservient to certain situations. He's very clear. He's there to put people over, have fun, have great storylines and all of that. And him just talking about main event in WrestleMania is a fun thing to throw in there. But in no way do I ever think they'll let him main event a WrestleMania. It's just not the same. If it happened, would I be excited? Hell yes. But I don't think they'd ever let him do it. Yeah.
Corn Emperor, as a Laker fan, paid Kobe for the early years. Yeah, that's what it was.
Right, exactly. That's what they're doing now with Cena.
Hank Pym. I think Jay and Gunther have only wrestled 3 times. Gunther's the best in-ring talent out there. I agree. I think he'll be able to lead Jay for a solid match. Yeah, I think so. I think he'll be able to put him in. It'll be much better than when he fought his brother for sure.
Yeah.
I just don't think that if they're going to probably have him win also.
Yeah.
Uso will probably win, which I think is a mistake.
Over Gunther, probably.
Yeah. He's probably going to beat him, and then the crowd will do this, and he'll have the title, and then he's not going to be able to hold. They're going to try to have him. They try to put the IC championship on him, and they give it right back to Braun.
Yeah.
I am Jax 12. Full slate for Sam. I get it. In 2037, thoughts on showing Sam Star Wars, but getting with Andor to Rogue One and leading into Episode 4. Thoughts on that order? Lord of the Rings will come first, and then we'll start to do other movies that she missed, and then Star Wars will come eventually. She's dragging her feet on. She really doesn't want to watch them.
If you're still doing this in 13 years, I feel like Ben Affleck. If you're still doing this in 13 years,
I know.
Bringing your kids around to watch games with us, I'll kick the shit out of you.
I know. I want to be retired, exactly. but I doubt it. All right, let's see. This is Richard Carl. Big fan of you both. Met you, John, a few years ago in London.
Oh, yeah.
Wondered, are you guys fans of Severance? I love Severance. I missed the last episode because I was going to watch it. I was going to watch it that and 1923. But I just didn't get a chance to see the new one. But I love it. It's my favorite show currently on television right now. Although Daredevil's pretty damn good. But I would say that Severance is fantastic.
I haven't seen an episode. I will catch up.
It's so good. Adit Mahmood, Peaky Blinders reunion with Killian and Brody.
Oh yeah, right. Because Brody was the villain in season 4.
Really, I gotta watch that show. I've never seen it. I know.
So good, man.
Nathan Drake, were you guys fans of Gold Dust? Not really. I think it was because there were 2 times that I kind of fell out, and he definitely wasn't. He was competing when I was not really into it. I remember him coming on Stern, and he was truly dedicated to Tourette's bit. It was hilarious. He's funny, and I like what he does, but it wasn't my thing. Paige Chaudhry. This was the first Oscars I missed. I watched everyone since I was born. The show's getting more disappointing. Yeah, what? It's just
okay.
I'm telling you, dude. These are from the people.
The people.
The people are. It's like it's not geared towards the people. It's geared towards the industry. Ooh. Sean Wicker. Hey, really pumped for the Cena heel turn. I'm glad he's got an actual story instead of just a victory lap. Curious to see how it all plays out. Me too.
It is going to be a victory lap. What are you talking about?
It is going to be a victory lap, but I'm here for it. I'm getting more and more pumped for him winning the title. Todd Lane, hey guys, I hope you are both doing awesome. Do you think there are too many titles in WWE? Yes. Feels not special with so many to me. They need to get rid of the heavyweight title and just make it. I'm so glad they got rid of the Universal and combined it with the WWE Championship. That was great. The heavyweight championship used to be the championship. Yeah. Like, why isn't it the? Unify that also, get rid of that stupid thing. Intercontinental and US need to combine into one thing. And yeah, it's the same thing. There's too many. What's the most important title? The WWE Championship. Yeah. Well, right. You said heavyweight, but it's not. It's WWE Championship.
Yeah. Just like the Schmoedown. The most important title was a title I held twice.
Twice.
It was bigger than the IG title, bigger than the Star Wars title, bigger than the tag team title. I don't care what anyone says. That's the top title.
It was. Bobby, I noticed one of the big trades covered the MCU leaks. Is that because they didn't want to get on? Wait, none of the trades covered the leaks. Is that because they didn't want to get on Marvel's bad side, or just don't want to potential spoil things? Probably a little bit of both, and probably because if they didn't find it, now if somebody leaks it to them, then they'll probably do it. But they don't like to give people the trades don't like to give anybody credits except other trades. Yeah, so that's
all owned by the same company.
Geek Lodestars. I would like to see Orton versus Cena for his last match. It's gonna be the Rock. It's gonna be the Rock.
But Orton can still go.
Yeah, I know. It's gonna be the Rock.
Yeah.
Hey, Soul. Just like you, Kristian, I couldn't log into Hulu at first. I had to whack-a-mole. I had to play whack-a-mole to figure out which one of my devices was still logged in. It was horrible. And then I just gave up for a bit. I watched the stuff on YouTube and then came back to it and it was working. Dancing Dog 60. So is the NFL totally moving off free TV soon? Yeah, probably. Yeah. Todd Lane. John, have you ever thought about moving back east?
Yeah, but not back to Virginia unless something happens with my mother who is getting up there. I don't. I mean, the humidity and just the general vibe. We'd have to pick probably someplace that's just kind of a small town that's very chill. So I have thought about it, but I don't see it happening anytime soon.
Yeah. Stephanie Litz. Ironic that Brody's speech was about him learning from past mistakes, and his speech actions now have made him even more disdained. That wasn't about. Someone said he's main eventing night 1 in a month. Who is?
He thinks Punk's main event. That's not. If it's a triple threat, you're not main eventing. The 3 of you are main eventing. You know, there's a difference.
No, not necessarily. That's not. I don't agree with that.
You're not the lead dog in that main event. You're not the lead dog.
If it's the main event, you're in the main event. If you're in the main event,
I guess.
If you're in the main event, you're in the main event. Is the same. So would you say that Kevin Owens wasn't in a main event when he was in the team championship?
Which one?
When they fought the Usos?
No, that's a tag team situation, right? A triple threat's about ranking. It's Reigns, Rollins, and Punk. So yes, he's in the main event, but he's not main eventing. Do you know what I'm saying? Main eventing implies that you are the draw. You are the draw. And he is not the draw. There's 3 of them there. Reigns is the draw, then Rollins, then Punk in terms of importance.
Debatable. That's debatable. I'm gonna disagree with you on that one. If he's in the main event, he's in the main event. Paul Hitchcock, Coy and Winston on their own hide the matches. Yeah, for sure. 100%. Thank God they're not together. Julius Wyatt, hot take. I thought Torres gave the best performance. For what?
Torres. I don't know.
I'm not sure what that is. I don't know who that is.
Maybe from
where? Torres gave the best performance. I'm not sure, Julius. I'm sorry.
Maybe
Todd Lane. What is your favorite non PLE wrestling match? I mean, like on well, I mean, I did like how when Andre started doing the job for the Warrior, let him beat him in like 10 seconds. I was at one of those.
What was that?
I was a car right outside. I was at one of those.
Non-PLE? I don't know that I have a non-PLE favorite wrestling match. Yeah, no.
This is, I got to address this. Django Blackfire. Can you add timestamps to the lives? For those of you who watch, you upload them as videos. Hashtag corporate Cena. The answer to that is, so I do add them, but I don't add them until we have a great commenter who watches it and he watches them and he puts them in there. And once he does, I cut and I paste them and I put them in there. So you might watch them late. You'll see them in there. Can I do it? No, because I have no time to do that. I have absolutely no time to do that. As soon as I'm done here, I'm going to, I have to upload something. I have to do something else. Then I have to go and I'm going to see a screening tonight. I don't have time to go through, listen and do this stuff. I always say, if anybody Django, if you want timestamps, write them down, put them in there. I'll cut and paste it and I'll put it in the thing. I told everybody that if they do that, then I absolutely would cut and paste it. I do not have time to do timestamps. Sorry. But I understand why people want them and I have no problem with putting them in there. I can't do it. If you want to do them for me, sure. Evil John Madden. John, the other day on Geek Buddies, you said you'll sell anything of yours for $1 billion. Does that include Mrs. Rocha?
Well, we're not married, so I can't really sell her for $1 billion, but no, she's not mine. So I can't sell her.
Tiberius Monk. Hello, Kristian and John.
Hey,
Oscars was great. Conan was awesome, but Adrian Brody's Oscar speech was too long. Wrap it up. Congrats to Anora. Yeah. It's only 2 left here, John. Julius Wyatt, Fernandez Torres in I'm Still Here.
Torres, that's the Torres you're referencing.
Okay.
Yeah.
I did not see the speech, so I can't tell you if it was good.
She was great. That's
was it good?
Movie. Yeah.
Okay. I didn't see it.
I thought she'd pull an upset last night. I thought she might upset last night. Yeah.
Okay. And then this is the last one. Geek Load Stars. If you're starting a wrestling company today, who would you guys pick? Can be from other promotions too. MJF.
Reigns. It's not even a question. Roman Reigns. Not even a question.
Okay.
Roman Reigns. Yeah.
Both of those are pretty good.
Yeah,
all right, John, 98 today. That's pretty damn good. That's pretty damn good. 98. So thank you guys very, very much for being here today. I want to thank John. John, real quick, where can they find you?
You can always find me at The Rocha Says on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Blue Sky. Please look out for a live show sometime later today, but if not today, definitely tomorrow. And my Mickey 17 out of theater reaction on youtube.com/John Rocha Says. And yes, Stephanie, I know I can't sell her even if we get married. It was a joke. It was a joke.
So we are looking forward to Daredevil tomorrow. Yes.
Yeah.
Is it tomorrow that it comes out?
Tomorrow is tomorrow the reviews, right?
Reviews. I think it actually drops tomorrow too, because I have 3 things coming. I got Spider-Man 3 reaction tomorrow, and then I have both reactions of episodes 1 and 2 of Daredevil reaction, and plus the review. Todd Lane, what is your favorite wrestling entrance music from the past, and which is your current favorite? Current favorite right now. I mean, I like Seth Rollins, it's pretty good. And I would say that I really like the Rocks, the old school Rocks one. I like the Villain Rocks one.
Oh, yeah, Hollywood Rock is great.
Yeah.
You? It is come out tomorrow, Daredevil. My bad. Okay. Favorite wrestling from the past? It's the NWO theme. Not even a joke. Not even a question, rather. Current favorite, probably the Roman Reigns one. I love the Bloodline opening. Yeah.
Hank Pym. Yeet. 100. It's actually past 100 now. Now we're at 104.
Nice.
So there you go. All right. Thank you guys. Thank you to John. Thank you to you guys for being here tomorrow. Really, really appreciate it. And we shall see you guys on the flip side. So we'll be back here tomorrow with myself, Roxy, and DJ Woolridge. I'll have my out of the theater reaction of Mickey 17 tonight. So look out for that. My non-spoiler of that out tomorrow. Daredevil tomorrow. Spider-Man 3 tomorrow. Tons of stuff. So thank you guys. Really appreciate you. And we'll see you on the flip side. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Right? I think so.